welcome to session 7. I remembered. Unlike last time, welcome to session 7 of Dire Rolls.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we have Evangeline and Rolt with us. They are back from their excursion to the mythical land of New Mexico.
You do be like
It's a magical place.
I mean, really, like their most famous city sounds like a fantasy city. A city forged to essentially mess with your perception of time and monetary value, stuck in the middle of a desolate desert.
Isn't that
Yeah, while avoiding thieves and violent.
That is Nevada, not New Mexico.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a strength build.
We're not?
I'm strength and charisma.
I was
Intelligence was my
wondering
dumb
where you were
stat.
going with this.
Wrong Las Vegas. Wrong Las Vegas.
Wrong Las Vegas.
Are we
This
sure
different
that we're
Las
not
Vegas?
just talking
There's
about
Las
animation
Vegas, New Mexico.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Is there?
You didn't know this?
Oh, I was reading that.
Yeah. Google it. There's a Las Vegas, New
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, I've driven through it.
Yeah. What the
What's
fuck was that? And that was it.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I genuinely want to know this now.
Yeah. Those in the chat are just like, oh, I feel like what's his name?
Holy crap, there is a Las Vegas, New Mexico. Hold on, let's see how big it is on the map.
Technicality. Yes, there is Las Vegas in New Mexico.
But
All
I
right.
feel like a Joe Rogan. What is that real? So look that up. Oh, I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
It's surprisingly about the same size as the actual Las Vegas in Nevada.
Yeah, but it ain't near the same.
No, I'm
Oh, duck.
about to say. But anyways,
Anyways, we're
that
just-
natural 1 on an intelligence check aside.
Die roll.
Before we begin, I would like to give another shout out to our associative partners over at the Adventurers Guild of Amarillo, which I found out on the last one that we have their address at the top and the phone number at the bottom. So please feel free to call them at their phone number listed below, as well as if you're in town, go ahead and stop by. Their address will be right here on the screen for you, as well as the names for their Facebook community pages, as well as their business group. If you are the type to buy your things off of eBay, please feel free to check them out on eBay as well. The Adventurers Guild of Amarillo, they have a lot that they can offer and sell through there, even if you're not in the Amarillo area. So again, thank you Adventurers Guild of Amarillo for helping to support the stream and allowing us to get our hands on some of the pretty fun minis, including the green one that happens to be sitting on the table at this very moment.
Wait, where the hell did that come from?
Perception 1.
Which, yeah, at this moment, the only ones who've seen it is Evangeline and Victorin. So, but we'll get back.
baby.
Now, before we go into the intro or anything, does anyone have any big news coming up? Or
I do. Anime Onsen up in Colorado Springs, Colorado, May 27th through the 29th. That's Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be there with Lore Master Entertainment. I know Ashley over there on the end is going to be as well.
Yep.
So if you guys see us, let us know.
And where's it again?
That's going to be in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
And what's the dates?
May 27th through 29th, Memorial Day weekend. The name again is Anime Onsen.
And what's your type?
My type?
Anyways, let's hit
That
that
one.
intro.
Come in, you losers!
Let's go.
Sworn I left that other D4. Here we go.
Alright guys, balls are ready. Get to the table. All right, and we are back. I went to the intro a little too early there. Mel, go ahead. We haven't. Pretend you haven't seen the intro yet. All right, Mel, what's going on?
So we got some new socials up. Woohoo!
Yeah.
We got a Facebook page, we got a Facebook discussion group, and we have a TikTok and Instagram. So, yes, we do have
Oh,
a
cool.
TikTok. I wouldn't follow you on it.
Oh, okay. I haven't touched mine in a few days, so.
But yes, currently there's not a lot on the TikTok, but we will be working on that. But yeah, look for memes about the campaign on the discussion page. Basic general information for the campaign is going to be on the Facebook page, and Instagram will be like maybe some fun behind the scenes stuff. So look for that.
All right, and we'll eventually have those up on each of the banners for our socials as well, so you'll be able to find the links there. And now pretend that you just watched the intro. Man, that was a good intro, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Good intro. Good intro.
It is a good intro.
It is a good intro. All right, so as we last left off, our party had to split up for their travels to the north to get to the capital of Drake. They each finding their own way, either on foot or by essentially being able to get a car ride. But as all things do, bad things will happen.
Yeah, that was the worst first time car ride.
I was about to say, for some people with it being their first car ride, probably not the best example of what they're like. But
I'm walking.
the good part is after a pretty big fight against an unknown predator that kind of roams these isles, the party was eventually able to meet back up later that morning. And as they were reuniting and giving greetings, two of the party members, Evangeline and Victorin, spotted something scaly moving its way through the forest. Not trying to hide, but almost as if it was a part of the surroundings itself. And before they had a chance to say anything, standing before them, slightly relaxed in its posture, moving to lay down, arms crossed, standing before the party, most of them unaware, was a green dragon, looking at them. And that's where we pick up today.
So how was your
Yeah.
trip, guys?
Well, there we were. Walking right around
guys,
Yeah.
guys.
I wanna hear
I'm telling a story
Look,
here.
Guys,
No, please, let them speak. As the party now with the dragon choosing to speak and being pointed at frantically by Evangeline and Victorin, you see a very toothy maw of a well-spiked and green dragon laying there, watching, almost entertained.
Greetings!
Oh shit.
Hello, Minotaur.
Oh, you are a full-grown green dragon, are you not?
Yes, and you're very observant, aren't you?
Well, I've never seen one in person. You're beautiful. Oh, and you're not attacking me, which is even greater.
Oh, yes. You can't very well make business deals by killing your partners, can you?
Oh,
Business. What kind of business?
Well, and with that, he starts to stand up.
oh, you're bigger.
With this, whenever he kind of stretches his wings out, it even goes above the crowning of the canopy.
okay.
He kind of, when he's just standing on his four legs, fully stood up, he makes oaks look like saplings.
Just a small whistle
Mm-hmm.
That's a big bitch. Eddie kind of speaking towards you. I'm gonna take the twins back a little bit.
Maybe we should stay put. If we try and run, we'll only die tired.
Fair enough.
What? Never heard that one before, Zane?
It's just the truth out of it. Like,
If we were going to die, he would have already killed us or started the attack. He's here for something else.
Well.
Don't worry, Eddie.
Let me ask you. What kingdom do you hail from?
I hail from Creek.
I am from the coast of Tyler.
Could you speak up, please? Ah,
Mechanus?
alright.
Mechanus?
A varied crowd. The dwarf sticks his hand up. I'm from Crick as well. And
Who's
Eddie,
that?
That's
the dragon's actually gonna look at you. It's rude to interrupt.
Oh, my apologies.
And he's gonna look at you as well.
I just gotta write down.
And then Eddie's from Mechanus.
I just write cleric. We'll explain later.
And the mule twins are a bit too kind of terrified to really speak.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
They're from Tyler as well.
Are they mute?
Only temporarily.
It's fine.
Where's the lie?
He looks at you when you say that. He does let out a little bit of a chuckle. He knows he's a dragon.
Yep.
And he can tell they're young. It's kind of an obvious.
Yep.
That's a dragon.
Yep.
And being from Tyler, the only nation in the entire world, in the entire continent of Sterk, to not have dragons, it's kind of their first time really seeing a dragon.
Yep.
Like they may have caught glimpses during your travels, but never one that's just blatantly
Right in
Yep.
front of
right
him.
in front of them.
Like
That's
the
roll
dragon,
right now
bro.
too. So.
Yeah. Rolt's just trying to be the role model, showing them that he's not scared, so they should be fine.
Rhoda is very much like, well, if I go by dragon, that's a glorious death, so might as well, have fun while doing it.
Is that what his internal monologue sounds
Oh
like?
yeah, it's just like, he would have killed me already. Might as well see what happens.
Well then,
Yes.
Okay.
here, why don't you each come with me? You can leave the cart and the wagon.
I don't
It's
think we
not
have
that
to
far to
argue.
travel.
No, I don't think so.
Yep. So we're gonna start walking that way.
Okay, so no one tries to do anything.
Fuck no.
That's a dragon!
That's a fucking dragon! No!
That's a big bitch.
That's a fuck mother dragon.
So, as he's taking a nice slow pace, so that way you can each keep up with his gait. You have to move a little bit faster than normal, but you can tell he's not going his normal speed. Roll me perception checks as you're walking.
Can I have a die roll, please?
Oh!
Dire roll.
Dire
And
roll.
what were you saying about the
Dire
rubber
roll.
dice at what?
Dire roll. Dire roll. Dire roll.
7.
7. Ooh, all right. Yeah, you're too busy looking at the dragon. There be a dragon right in front of me.
My first thought is literally, well, at least I won't die by breath like these idiots.
All right, what'd you get?
23.
He's just gonna eat people.
3.
Oh,
Yep.
Dirty
we're-
20.
Well,
Very
3 plus 2, 5.
5. Evangeline?
She's still leveling her character.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to do that too.
y'all had a week.
I was busy. Pain.
All right.
Without love.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
all right,
We'll
we'll just
Well, I have 16 on dice.
16 on dice.
And then I
Your
think
perception's
my
pretty good.
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah, that one.
Is
That's 5.
so 21.
21. Okay. Those of you who got 20 or above, you're able to spot what was his foot tracks originally coming through. And you can tell that he's lessening his gait considerably from what he was moving before.
Victorian just keeps an eye on this fucking dragon, just like.
The rest of you who weren't so lucky to see it, you're kind of still worried about the dragon right in front of you.
I mean,
Who on
that's a
those?
perfectly good idea.
I was about to say, I mean,
Oh,
nothing wrong with having to keep your eye on the dragon.
It would be
If I want to die, I want to die knowing what hit me.
So, as it takes a good, with him at a slower pace and everyone kind of walking behind him, it does take about a good 30 minutes before you get to what looks to be tangled overgrowth with barely peeking out of it what looks to be ancient stonework. If those with proficiency in it want to give me a history check.
Oh, I'm proficient.
I do
Nope.
I do not, but can I help?
Only if you're proficient.
I would like someone to help if they are proficient.
I'm checking. Hang on. Sorry.
I don't think the
This is kind of one of those niche history things.
Oh.
Ah, yeah.
So that's why it requires.
Oh wait, history?
expertise.
Okay,
Or
yeah, I
expertise,
can
but
help with that. I'm
proficiency.
proficient.
It wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't good. It's the same fucking number! It's the two idiots!
The two brain
Oh,
What's the total?
we are both sharing the brain cells.
Two idiots. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm the idiot.
You two brain cells doing your best for neurons.
That's a 13 total.
13 total?
Yeah.
Okay, that's above average. So, as you're walking into it, and the dragon doesn't even stop to say anything as he starts to move into the, essentially, what looks to be a organized, collapsed entrance. Almost as if where it fell just kind of made a good entrance. But as you're going through, now, does anyone stop following or do anything besides what the dragon asks to do?
Nope.
It's a dragon.
I'm just like how much is the the flora like the mushrooms and everything, like did they like scatter and everything?
Actually, no. It seems that there is quite a few of the more fey-like fauna, or at least flora. I should
Yeah.
say flora, not fauna. Fey-like flora that is still around here. As a matter of fact, you can see a good clump of mushrooms as well as a few sunflowers.
Okay.
That's at least what you can see with your passive.
Okay. I just keep walking.
As you're kind of walking through, the dragon, not saying a word, but you can hear him tap on on the stone itself. As you walk in, it's pretty well cleared out stone, either through just passage of time with things walking over it. It seems like nothing was really able to grow on the entrance to this place. But as he taps on the stone, torches do light down the way.
Oh, that's cool.
And as the lights come on, you do see some more inscriptions, Victorian. And with this, you can tell that it looks to be a temple of a forgotten deity, something that predated the Titans themselves. So it's very old, but wasn't very prominent past a long gone era.
Okay.
So essentially, the writings that exist today were basically by hypothesizing religious figures, going, "This is what we found in the past. This is some of the inscriptions," and you kind of you remember some of the inscriptions, but it's essentially like a dead language. Like some people knew about it in the past, and nowadays people know of it, but nowhere near as well as they used to. And with that, the lights flickering, I figure it'd be a little bit better for each of you to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can at least be gracious to your hosts.
I appreciate it. Thank
We
you.
do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Everyone, I have dark vision.
I have dark vision.
No, I don't.
I do.
I do.
I was like, who turned the color on?
Who turned the color on?
I was seeing in black and white.
Which, oddly enough, to the ones who do have dark vision before the lights came on, it was almost disorientating, as the stonework itself blended into itself. Meaning, you basically were looking at you might have had essentially like a dim light in a completely black painted room.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Okay.
And the dragon's still walking.
So is this your home, great sir?
Home, office, morgue. It's been called a few things.
Oh.
Lovely.
Thank you. a
Very
try.
nice.
May we ask
I-
what your name is at least?
In due time.
Okay.
I do like what you've done with the place. It looks very, very nice.
Give me a deception check there.
I'm just gonna go ahead and cringe over here. Just I'm gonna fold myself in half.
Yeah, that's an 18.
An 18? Let me see here.
I can appreciate the decor.
You can appreciate it.
Okay. He looks at you a little bit puzzled and goes, "Thank you."
It's nice for a dragon's place. Come on.
Was that in character?
No.
Okay.
I was about to say.
I'm like, and this is how we die.
Breathes on us. What happened to everyone?
Well, we died.
No, you just get eaten.
I just got.
You just get eaten.
I just got bitch slapped across the wall.
You helped paint the
You
wall.
you are the extra spicy one.
Anyways,
This one's
Uh,
cinder-
he-
cinderizing.
looking back forward, you do see other pathways that are a little bit more structurally sound, as it seems they're a bit more further back from what looks to be the eroded part from outside. Of different hallways that move off, and you can tell that they were meant to be hallways, not like tunnels that were made later, as it's still the same stonework as what you've been walking through. And again, with those of you who do have dark vision, as you try to look down these unlit tunnels, it's just like looking at a black box with a dim light.
Who has dark vision again? Okay.
I think
So-
we're the only two.
Yeah.
Which, do keep in mind, if anyone wants to try and do a investigation check on the stonework as you're walking past it, that is things that you can do.
Oh.
If you feel like your
But-
character would be really confused by the description of the black box and with a
Yeah.
dim lit light, you're welcome to try and look
Yeah.
at the stonework as you're walking. He's
Right,
not
that's-
he's not making you run at a pace. You're not being dragged.
My face.
I'm actually gonna look at the dwarf and be like, Dwarf friend, what was your name again?
Oh, that's
Name's Teak.
Nice.
There's other numbers!
Nice to meet you. What'd you get?
That's funny.
Oh, not 20. All right, for a total of
36.
I got
36.
a 16.
16. All right, I'll get back to it in just a second.
Yeah, you're fine.
And as you look towards Teak, you would recognize that he's firstly a cleric based on the clothing and the armor. But as one of a religious order, you would kind of get an understanding of most of them. And you would have at least seen the symbol on his armor being that of Gaia.
Okay. Okay.
Being mostly from Creek is where they tend to
Gotcha.
mostly stay.
Well, you're a dwarf, and you saw,
And you're a Minotaur, yes.
and you always seem to have a knack for identifying stones. And then I can see that you are a worshipper of Gaia.
That is a mountain dwarf that's good with stones. Yes, I'm a hill dwarf. What's your point?
Oh, but I didn't know if you could tell us anything about where we're walking into, like what this place used to be or anything.
All right. What's better, bluegrass or Montana grass? Which tastes better? You're a Minotaur, right?
Bluegrass, actually.
He's being snarky too.
My friend, I'm telling you, I don't do
The
stonework.
sass.
I'm a hill dwarf.
Oh, my mistake.
The
I thought all dwarves actually had stone cutting.
Mountain dwarves are the ones who get stone cut.
Okay. Alright, that's my fault.
Hill dwarves are kind of like the variant that grew out in the plains. They grew above
Gotcha.
ground.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, in character and out of character, I had no idea.
Low key racism. Or just
I
ignorance.
was about to say ignorance. He wasn't being racist about it.
Yep.
That's why Teak didn't get too offended.
Rangers on the other hand.
I mean, the comment he made towards me could be she was racist, but I'm like, no, bluegrass tastes better.
Bro.
It's got a bit of that southern spice to it, you know?
So, but
Learn
he's gonna look back
something
at you and
new.
go, "No, and I have no idea what this place is. I haven't really taken my eyes off the dragon in front of us.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All I know is I can't really see past the dark rooms.
Fair enough. Oh, you can see farther than I can.
Maybe it's kind of like looking at a black painted wall."
Understood.
And so with that, everyone's still moving.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
these guys rolled high.
Okay, so with that investigation check now, are you still moving and
Yeah,
doing
I'm
it,
still
or are you
moving.
gonna stop?
I'm still moving.
I don't want to be rude to the dragon.
Okay, so you're still moving? Alright, so, the only reason I ask is it does increase essentially the DC for stuff as you're still moving.
Yeah.
It's not at a hurried pace, so it's still lower than if you were being dragged or forced to move. But that's why I was asking. As you're kind of looking around, it's a bit harder for you to get an idea of what's going on with the stonework. You can tell that it's all the same stone, all the same color, but it's in a strange mosaic pattern between the stone itself and the mortar. But you don't understand why it's being so like disorientating to you when you look into the dark parts of the building. But you can tell there is a strange, unorganized pattern to the stonework. Again, everything that I just explained for Victorian, except it's strange. As you're looking, you can see the flickering of the torches, and it's almost as if the light that would be going over the mosaic style design over the stone almost looks like it gets refracted into the mortar itself and then dissipates and then shows back up when it goes over the stone again. So you can tell whatever's causing this is something in the mortar.
Okay.
But again, with it being an old structure and you not being able to stop and truly touch it or anything, you're mainly just stuck to quick swipes with your hand and just trying to see what you can as you're moving.
Okay.
But you can tell that something with the mortar is affecting the light period.
Okay.
And even with dark vision, you essentially take the most minimal amount of light that may be somewhere and turn that into grayscale, increasing your vision. It's essentially how dark vision works like that. So you get the idea that it might be something with the mortar affecting even the most minuscule of light that can come through and distorting it.
Oh, okay.
So it's creating kind of like that solid, almost black wall kind of feeling whenever you look into the darkness.
Kind of like the, because I watched this one YouTube. It's like the darkest paint. Like if people opened a
Yeah.
room, right? They
Like
would-
Venta Black.
Yeah, the Venta Black. That's the one.
Essentially, that's what it's like whenever you look down there, and you're getting the idea that it's something with the mortar that's holding the stone together.
Okay.
At this point, you do reach what looks to be a massive door. Looks like whenever it was carved, it was supposed to mimic the design of wood itself, but with years of erosion and everything, just natural time, you can easily tell it's stone underneath. But at its prime, you wouldn't have known until you touched the door.
While we were walking, did I see anything? Because I know you had mentioned like there being like text or script of like an old language. Did I happen to see like anywhere along the way Draconic?
No.
No. Okay.
You don't even have to roll for that. It's
Yeah.
It's a thing of the designs that passed weren't really like word texts. It was
Gotcha.
more like hieroglyphs and symmetry
Gotcha. Okay.
and imagery, not symmetry. And as you reach the stone door, the dragon just simply placing his hand on it, opens it. You can hear as stone scrapes against the stone floor, dust kind of clouding the air as it's moved, essentially grinding itself across, just blowing up plumes of dust. Now then, shall we go into my office?
Of course.
Yes.
And as each of you walk in, he taps the stone again and torches light, this time being a mixture of the traditional orange, red, and yellow flames, but with a green flame in between each of them. And as it lights up the room, you can see in almost an organized manner chests strewn throughout the room. Doesn't seem like there's anything without its place in here. If everyone wants to give me a perception check as you're looking around.
I think that's a 17.
That'll work.
18?
14.
25.
17. Nice.
DC was 15, so that was the number to beat. So roll, you're still kind of, you kind of notice it, but it's not at the forefront of your mind right
You
now.
said
You're
what is what to beat?
15.
I got an 18.
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you said-
I'm the one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just like, still.
Sorry. In that case, ignore that and everything I was saying to Cameron. I'm saying
Got it.
Hey.
I'm still confused about
about the.
the stone.
Oh, the stone?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Your character's still kind of.
Boy.
Touch
Which
later.
you would notice, especially in Victorian, you would kind of notice the room is, instead of the stonework being more mosaic, is uniform here. So it's essentially the same shape with the mortar, but it's more unified instead of it being a strange mosaic style. Those of you who got above a 15, you would notice that what I said before, so you would still notice the slightly organization of chests, nothing really strewn out. You would each kind of notice in different fonts, almost as if it was written by different people, labels on each of these chests. It's a bit far away, as this room is about 100 feet by 100 feet. But who got above a 20? You could make out that most of it's in common.
Okay.
There's a couple of it that looks like it may be Draconic, and then you see some that are Elven. There's a few mix of languages, but from what you can see written on there, it looks to be a mixture of names and then signatures under the names. Now then, and as he rounds this, what looks to be a massive marble slab, supported by what looks to be 5 columns, one at each corner and then one in direct middle. Please, feel free to have a seat. And he taps on the table as behind each of you, a very nice ornate looking wooden chair pops up. Large enough for everyone to sit in, no matter your size. So, for you, for instance, it's a shorter chair, so your feet can still easily touch the ground. And he then goes and sits back into what looks to be a massive stone monument, but on further looking, it's a chair. Now, my friends,
Take a seat.
each of you take a seat.
Yep.
Yep. Which, adding the Mule Twins a little bit further back, still had chairs show up for them, and they cautiously take a seat as well. As well as for Teak, who is near with y'all, he sits down. Now, what brought you to my woods?
Well, we were just passing through. Actually, we were on our way to the city.
We were on our way to Jagu.
To Dragul. Well then, Dragul is a very bustling city. A lot of different laborers, a lot of different jobs. What brings you there?
Some guild business.
Guild business.
Yes.
And does he speak for all of you?
Well, yes, but I'm guessing you would like us to elaborate, sir?
Teak is gonna raise his hand and go, no, I was just giving them a ride there for my own cleric group to return some information about a dragon attack. And he's gonna look a little confused. Dragon attack?
Yes, outside of the city of Lung, there was a dragon attack. It was very brief and it was more like a flyby, but there was a dragon, for sure.
Interesting.
Didn't happen to catch the color or
And as you're talking about this, he reaches over to what looks to be a pretty massive glass fixture. As he then picks up, which you wouldn't have seen this just because of the height of the table, what looks to be a giant feather. Does anyone have animal handling?
I have half proficiency.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
Does anybody else have it?
Or
I have
nature.
survival.
Animal handling or nature.
I'm half proficient in both.
My face when it's survival.
I just have survival.
Can I do nature?
Yes,
I have a
go for
+2 in that. I
Go
have
for
a +0 in animal handling. It's a 16.
Yeah, that'll work. So each of you just see this massive plume of what looks to be a mixture of red and yellow feathering. You would recognize this as a phoenix feather.
Oh,
Pretty feather.
As he picks it up and dips it into the glass fixture on his desk. And as he pulls it out, there's a thick black ichor on the pin. Or on the quill as he starts to... You can hear him writing on something.
And he's doing all this in dragon form?
Yeah.
Cool.
Dragons, man.
Yeah.
So meta knowledge, chromatics tend to not turn into a humanoid.
Gotcha.
They feel more prideful in their dragon form. Turning into something else means that they're trying to hide themselves.
Fair enough.
They're all prideful, man.
Permission to speak, sir.
He stops writing, looks up. Yes.
I have 2 questions for clarification, if you will allow me. One, green dragonborns do not breathe fire, is that correct?
Dragons.
Why do you bring up dragon?
Or not dragonborns, excuse me, dragons, I misspoke, please forgive me. Green dragons breathe, not fire, but acid, right? Or poison?
Poison. Yes.
Huh. Well, that solves the mystery about the fire then. And second,
And as you say the fire, he actually starts writing it down more.
okay. And second, I did not know your claws were that dexterous. You could use a pin like any humanoid's fingers. That is amazing.
And I didn't know that Minotaurs could wear such fine armor. But we all have our surprises.
I am learning so much today. This is wonderful.
And he's still kind of writing down. Most of you would get the gist, kind of like talking with a psychiatrist. He's kind of writing down interesting notes that y'all bring up.
Oh, no wonder Rogue's having fun. He probably needs some psychiatric help.
Now then,
Y'all got
For
some
the
trauma
reason-
to figure out, boys.
Yeah, he does.
We got a lot of them.
now then, for the reason you're still alive in my territory.
thank you again
You
for that.
Thank you for that immediately.
No one likes a butt kisser. Now, I have business in Dragoon myself, but I find it quite taxing to go there myself. Now then, I have a deal for each of you. And if you accept it, great. And if not, well, I don't mind fast food.
Noted.
Okay.
Now then, I have, as stated, a business. And as I've told you before, there's plenty of jobs and plenty of things that go on in Dragoon. One of those is a branch of what in common would be considered an enterprise. I have a few acquaintances who have gone a bit quiet. I don't know if they've been offed or if they've simply tried to avoid me. Either way, I would like to give you a job. The pay, in addition to your lives, will be any one of these chests in my room. You may pick of them as you wish upon your success, but it is only one chest and you must make the decision as a group. Now then, if a anything goes wrong, well, I don't have to worry much about retrieving your bodies. But if everything goes well, then I may call upon you again for later work. Things have been hectic as of late, as I'm sure each of you are aware.
Yes. More aware than you can imagine.
Now then, I'm a dragon of understanding that I believe everyone at their word. But I believe everyone at their word when something of value is not with them. So, with that being said, I would like to keep the Yetkin with me, and one of the mules.
I'm assuming the alternative is we go to
And whenever you go to speak, John, for the first time, stammering, "Roll. I'll stay."
Thank you, John. Just to clarify, sir, I'm assuming that if we don't agree to these terms,
Oh, then
We
I
don't-
will have a fine dinner.
fair enough. John, you're a brave man.
It's not a question.
I know.
I'm staying.
I'm not going to argue with you, son.
Don't worry, Roll. I'll make sure we have plenty of fun wherever they put us.
You still have the Parcheesi board, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Parcheesi. Parcheesi.
Parcheesi.
The dragon's actually gonna peek up. I do enjoy a game of Parcheesi.
You come back, the dragon's raging.
Why?
That is the 5th time you've sent me back to my own base!
Forget trade. Parcheesi makes the world go around.
Oh gosh!
But they seem willing. Are you willing to let them stay?
Willing is not the word I would use, sir, but yes, they shall stay.
Perfect.
You said you were already aware of the goings-on, the plague, I'm assuming.
Yes. Whatever this hunger everyone keeps talking about, yes. But that is no concern of me as long as I can keep my enterprise moving.
Fair enough.
And what exactly?
Yes, mummy.
What exactly are we
Mummy?
looking
Sorry.
for?
Oh, well. Are you willing to accept the job?
I think we're all in agreement.
Yes, we are all in agreement.
Perfect.
Linus, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm just like, you'll kind of see, like, Linus just looking at the fucking chests and just like, yeah, no.
Perfect. Now then, and he finishes kind of writing stuff out, and he snaps his claws, and the paper that he was writing on floats down to you, and what starts off as being this roughly 16 foot by 16 foot paper shrinks itself down to be more about the same size as your average scroll.
Damn.
And here, and he tosses the phoenix feather down, which also shrinks.
You want to grab that?
I'll
It's floating, so anyone can easily grab it.
I'll grab the scroll.
grab the
I grabbed
pen.
the pen.
Okay, you grab the pen.
As you grab the pen, any coldness that would have been from you being in this essentially dank dungeon, so to speak, immediately evaporates. Like you feel not uncomfortable, but warm.
And I'm gonna read what the dragon has written.
I have the scroll.
I know, but I'm
So-
not gonna.
First and foremost, just like everything that was described in it, basically the
Mhm.
consequences of if you don't follow through with this.
It's the Yetkin.
Essentially
Tar.
leaving behind the John and Eddie upon failure of the given quest, they will be treated as nothing more than meals.
Any sort of provisions as far as like their treatment?
It's essentially guaranteed that they will not be harmed or mistreated during their stay. You get the gist from how he's been acting that he is not malicious,
Right.
but he is business-like.
Right.
Because of mob boss.
We've had some help with us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take, and I'm going to also be looking specifically for any sort of like, I don't.
Fine print.
Yeah, fine print, magical or otherwise.
The
Okay.
claws.
It seems all pretty straightforward. You can give me an investigation check if you'd like.
We're both looking at it, so.
Yeah. Go ahead and you can roll with advantage.
Well, you want to take and do it because I'm not.
I have expertise in investigation.
You have what?
Expertise in investigation.
Okay, then go for it. I
So
will
you'll get
assist.
advantage.
I'll assist you.
Yeah, they got for a minute.
24.
What was that
Okay.
again?
So what was the first one?
8.
8 total?
Yeah. No, 16 would be it.
16? Okay. So you're kind of looking through it. Linus kind of helping to point out a couple things that you might have missed. But it's not necessarily fine print. It's all there.
It's all written in common.
It's all written in common. No changes in languages. No anything like that. It doesn't seem to be any like fine print set afterwards. It seems pretty straightforward. You do as requested and return with what's requested, and
What is requested?
it says to be determined by contract giver.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
It says to be determined as far as our like objective is what you would have us to do.
Yes.
Could we elaborate on that?
Once everything is signed.
You seem like a very auspicious business person, and I would feel much better if we knew exactly what we were signing.
I'm sure you would.
Damn.
Don't worry, I'm no fae, nor am I a demon. You're not signing your souls or anything of the such. By signing this, you still retain full autonomy of your own actions and your own thoughts. But what I have to speak about is very need to know, and the only ones who need to know are the ones who live. And the only way to live is by signing that.
I see. Like the ultimate DNC.
In a way.
I'm just like gonna shake Weeper and like put my hand out for the feather.
And I'll just need a signature of each of you on there.
And I'll sign mine first. Then I hand it to Linus.
And as you're signing it, you do notice that there is spots with your names written for you to sign next to.
Yeah. So
I'll sign.
Okay.
I present it to.
Yep.
And everyone just signs it as it passes around.
Yep.
Even Teak signs it. Now then, I do not need for each of you to return, just as long as someone returns with what I need as evidence of your completions. Now then, and as you finish it, he then reaches over the table and kind of grabs it from you as it returns back to its full size. He then, taking one of his claws, swiftly cuts off the bottom part where your names were and where you signed, and then walks over to an unmarked chest and puts it on there as it shrinks back down to a normal size.
And does it look like all the other labels now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now then, these were chests of those who decided they could skip out on a signed contract. There's quite a few goodies in these. Just nothing that I particularly care to use. But don't think that I'll be sending you into a major city empty-handed. It's best to give you something to help transport, if you will. and he reaches into one of the higher chests up on the wall, and tossing it to the mummy, as he called,
Yeah.
Mommy, sorry.
is a bag of holding.
Sorry. Mommy, sorry.
But it's a bit bigger than a normal bag of holding. It's
No regrets.
bigger than a satchel bag, but just smaller than a backpack.
Okay.
This is what's known as a greater bag of holding, my
We're
friend.
vibing on the same brain cell.
Yes, we share that
To whereas a
result.
normal bag of holding has a 10 foot by 10 foot cube, greater bag of holding has a 50 foot by 50 foot cube.
Ooh, that's a lot of bodies.
Apt.
That's a lot of damage.
And
Emotion.
does Trella say that in character?
No, she's still scared.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you said that in character, he was gonna reply with apt.
I could fit a lot of bodies in here.
Now then, do know that the people I'm going to send you after, as I know adventurers in one way or the other always have some form of a golden heart, whether they like to admit it or not. None of these people you can consider good.
Really? Really?
Each of them in their own way have dealt with drugs, slaves,
Okay.
or organs. Sometimes inhumanely treated.
Okay.
Now then,
Glorious. So does it look like a satchel?
No,
Kind of
but
like
that's
less a backpack,
glorious.
but you know, one of
Yeah.
those like.
I get to slay evil
it's
dogs?
kind of like
Yes.
kind of like instead of it being like a small like
Let's
purse
say
satchel,
glorious.
it's like a laptop satchel.
Oh, okay.
So like it's a
sling it
massive
over,
bag.
like,
Yeah, you can still sling it, or you could even. It has differing straps. You could wear it as like a half backpack,
Yeah. Like,
or you could sling it over like a large satchel.
yeah. Okay.
It's a messenger bag.
Yeah, messenger bag.
Yeah,
that's,
that's,
a good
that's
one.
it. That's what it is. Okay.
So, to clarify, we are investigating your enterprise, thank you.
Indeed.
And if they are not willing to continue, then they can be dealt with, quote unquote.
Yes, as you see fit. In your greater bag of holding, you will find a list of names. But I do want you to wait till you get into the city.
Okay.
So look at it.
Yes,
Right.
as there is one more little surprise that's waiting for the bag to open. But do not worry, it's not going to harm you again. I am no demon. I'm not going to kill my business partners. Unless they try to betray me.
Understood.
So if you do as I ask, and I will know, everything shall go to plan.
Clarification, so don't open the bag of holding at all till we get to the city, or just don't read the notes that's inside?
Don't open it at all until you get inside of the city.
Noted. Okay.
Understood.
I'm glad I asked that clarification.
But once you are in the city, you may use it for whatever purposes you need. Just do not open it beforehand.
Understood.
I haven't got a piece of twine, just tie that rascal
That's what I'm
shut
doing right. I'm just putting it underneath all the layers.
I was
I
gonna
have.
say it has two very
Layers.
sturdy buckle
Okay.
straps on there, so it's not opening unless someone purposely tries to take it out of the loop and then pull the buckle open.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think that's it. Do you want to ask about the hunter, or
Well, you asked me about the hunger. I was gonna ask him about the name.
about
I'm
the
pretty sure he
Okay.
said already. Like he doesn't care.
So, sir, I know you said you don't care because it does not affect you, and you have more important matters, of course. But do you know what this plague is? This hunger? Some of us are afflicted, unfortunately.
Oh, well. I've heard few things of it. But I'll save that as a bit more of your reward if you come back.
Okay, pot just got sweeter.
Knowledge is part of the trade.
Fair enough.
That is absolutely fair. Is there anything further that we need to discuss before heading out?
No. All of your details will be in the bag.
Fair enough.
Which we cannot open until we get there.
That is correct, Minotaur. Or, Rolt, as it was.
Yes, sir.
since you have received our names, sir, and we've been introduced to your details, might we have yours?
One thing at a time. When you come back, you may find it.
Very well.
Well then, is there any other questions that you have for me?
I think that about covers it.
Comrades, are we ready?
I suppose we are.
Very well. And the dragon's gonna look towards the dwarf. Dwarf, you said you had a message to send back to your ilk. And he's gonna look up. Yes? Well, there doesn't need to be so many messengers. You'll stay back with the Yetkin and the Mule Centaur. Just consider it your friend's duty now. Too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will. Do not want such a large party moving through. So, that is up to you, group, if you let whoever this dwarf's friends are know what's going on. That will not be part of the deal, but I will not count it against you if you go out of your way to talk with them either.
Okay.
One more thing. If I receive even a hint of the Draco Guardius moving into my force to find me, your friends will be meals.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
And none of you being from Drake itself, the name's kind of a foreign phrase, but
Would I
Context
also?
clues, basically.
you give me a remembering check. So roll under your intelligence.
Okay.
With your modifier being a subtractor instead of a adder if it's positive.
Okay. Yep, that's definitely. That's a 3.
Okay, so you would remember the Dracus Guardius as being essentially the special investigation corps of Drake itself.
Noted.
So you haven't dealt with them yourself, but they tend to be sent out in matters of dragons.
Oh.
Mum's the word.
Now then, if you will, Nigel. And as he yells that, coming from kind of the darkened corners of the room, which even those with you with dark vision because of the effect that happens with the mortar and the stone, didn't see him. It looks to be a weird mix of a spider monkey and a man as he lands down. And I even have a miniature of him.
Yay!
Ooh.
Let me see if I put him in this drawer or another one. I probably put him in with Beast Folk.
Right under it.
I knew that.
Making sure your actual perception's good.
His perception check was on that one.
I know everything that I'm doing, even whenever I don't know it.
Yeah, you know.
Let me see here. If he's in here, where did I put him? We got like 16 of them. Not on purpose, but in other blind boxes. Let me see here.
It wasn't on purpose, quote unquote.
It wasn't on purpose. Everything I do
It's
is on
not my
purpose.
fault.
I am omniscient. I know what I do.
Did you put it in Weird Beast maybe?
No. Oh, dang. Being undead.
Maybe on the break.
Yeah, maybe on the break. Oh well. One more check, because I feel like it should have been in here. Oh, yes, he is.
Perception at once.
There we go. As this fella
I can't see you.
jumps down to
Huh.
That's
Spooky.
interesting.
greet you.
Okay
You can pass it around if you'd like.
That is interesting.
And as he drops
You can
down,
barely see
You
it.
can really see him.
you can put him up in front of the medium screen if you.
Oh, there you go.
Camera
I didn't think about that one.
Are my hands smooth enough? It's-
So, as he jumps down,
Oh.
and if any of you can do speak with animal, then you would understand what he's saying.
Nope.
But it almost sounds, instead of it being animalistic monkey noises, it sounds like a human that's somehow mimicking a monkey perfectly.
Huh.
And he stands up, kind of slightly hunched, kind of like a spider monkey itself standing up. If you want to follow me. As he tucks his arm and kind of bows a bit. And
Yeah.
he starts moving out of the, essentially the office where the door was still left open. And as you would have seen as you were coming in, and as now that you're coming out, probably more so when you're coming out because you probably wouldn't have turned your back on a dragon, you would notice that the doors themselves are roughly about 10 foot thick. These were barricade doors. Essentially walls that were meant to be pushed by larger beings. And walking down the hallway, Nigel kind of leads you back out towards the exit of the facility of the former temple. Thank you for your business. As he gives one more bow and starts walking his way back in.
As he's bowing, I'm going to return the bow and thank you, Nigel.
And as he walks back, you can kind of hear it as it echoes a bit. And it's still pretty well lit, as Nigel himself can't see. But you see him once he gets about 100 or so feet from you. He goes back into more of an all fours natural walk. Just and starts crawling over the wall and down the hall.
So, I suppose the obvious question out of the way. Who knows how to use a manamobile?
What now? Oh.
Would I?
Victorian would, Linus would have experience. And as y'all are kind of just trying to decide, and Molly's gonna walk over to your roll and pulling on your clothes. Is everything gonna be okay, Rob?
Yes, Molly. We are going to get John back. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
It was.
He's
Did we
playing
leave him there
Parcheesi.
or none of us walked out?
Yeah, he's just playing Parcheesi.
Does Evangeline Estrella say that?
It's gonna be okay.
I just
He
mumble it to
has-
I just mumble it to myself.
He has Eddie with him. And they also have Parcheesi.
She couldn't hear you mumbling it.
That's a stealth check right there.
I say it's all gonna be okay. Eddie's with John, and also they have Parcheesi, and you heard the dragon. He likes Parcheesi.
Yeah.
Pain.
How about a deal? If I beat you at Parcheesi, you don't kill me.
Why is it that I always lose?
That's the first time you sent me back to base.
So, but with that, I mean, she's still worried because it's her brother of all people.
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, yeah, Eddie is still with him, so she's at least starting to calm down a little bit.
What the hell did we just get ourselves into?
Well, we didn't die. That's the important part.
That is the important part. Dealing with chromatics isn't ideal.
Agreed. The alternative is much better. You know, this is better than the alternative.
Absolutely better than the alternative.
Well, let's get to this job because I quite desire to have John and Eddie back.
And the door.
quite.
And the door.
And
And
the,
the
and
door.
the what? And the what now?
Oh,
him.
He's fine. He's fine. He can stay right there.
Is there a story behind that?
No.
How are we gonna
Give me a deception check,
Don't worry about it.
and then give
Don't
me an
worry
insight
about
check.
Deception to insight, maybe.
Before we would have walked out, I would have taken a gun.
You want help?
Oh,
No, wait, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got a dirty 20.
Damn it!
What'd you roll?
18!
Yeah. You can tell. Against clerics too. That's
Actually, that's the counter.
So
That's
yeah,
the counter play right
Chief
there.
would have wrote down the message. Essentially, it's just talking about how
So
there
what's
was
the
a dragon
story
attack.
behind that?
Nothing.
We don't know the
Uh-huh.
correlation.
You
of
sure
what's
about that?
causation,
We
but
don't talk about tea.
It was essentially just a descriptor of everything that they got notes of. So everything that y'all kind of heard about anyways. So yeah, you can tell that Victorian's like, There's something there. Horridly something there.
There is something.
So,
Nope, absolutely not.
It's so salty. What the
I
hell?
am going to go see what's going on with this Menomobile. Ah.
I see. Have
This is roughly
fun.
about a half-hour walk back the other way.
Have fun.
Toodaloo.
Just gonna-
I would rather go off by myself than fucking explain.
So what's the deal with that?
is she asking me now?
Yes,
I guess, yeah.
About what?
Jordan the dwarf.
He was how do you people say a ride? It was a ride for us.
We've had a hell of a ride.
Well, that doesn't explain why Victoria does not like him.
While you're resting, you might wanna
I don't know either.
Victoria ain't said shit.
I mean, I know that you were like you were doing the whole. You can't see me. I can't see you.
They'll recognize
And I
you.
lied about my name.
No, they
in
won't
front
if
of
I
them.
do this.
They won't see me.
Assassin. You're doing the Assassin's Creed stealth.
You can't see me.
I tried to do the John Cena and you can't see me.
I think I'm the only one who can actually do that. We see you. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Okay, we don't see you.
I like your all intimidation strength.
So, are y'all all making your way
Yeah.
to the Manmobile at this
Yeah,
point?
I'm
Okay.
gonna-
You will have about a 20-foot head start on everyone.
Cool.
So,
Where did y'all get such a fascinating machine, by the way?
The dwarf.
Oh,
He was the driver. It was not a very fun first experience.
Motion sickness.
No.
No.
what?
We hit a lizard.
Oh, fun.
Huh.
I have rat kebabs.
Was it cute?
Is the snake still sleeping?
yeah.
No.
Snake's just been chilling.
No. Teak was driving, but just yeah.
Okay then.
We hit.
So.
Wait, did you hit the lizard with the car?
Yeah.
How big was the lizard?
About 20 feet tall.
How do you not see that?
Don't ask me, I wasn't driving.
None of us saw it coming. It's like a
How
deer.
did you?
You were sitting in the front seat.
Yep.
Watch your jet! Watch your jet!
It's the it was the dashboard. It was a little too high for you.
We don't have booster seats. Sorry.
I purposely shrink the monomobile down so to make sure they're comfortable for stuff.
Sorry. Okay, let's get back.
So who knows how to operate this machine?
I got some experience with it.
Fair enough.
Victorian, apparently.
It's like, nope,
Wait,
nope,
so
nope,
did
nope, nope.
so did their party see all the talking mushrooms though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're aware of the talking mushrooms.
Okay, cool. Because I was like,
Yeah,
When
so
y'all
it's-
had dealt with the predator that was roaming, they started coming back up out of hiding.
alright,
Yeah, I had a good conversation with one of them. He seemed to be a fun guy.
I don't care.
You're gonna hear one of the mushrooms as you say they go, and then with that, a couple other clusters laugh as well.
He said the joke, is that what you said?
He said the joke. Haha.
It's like, we love that joke.
Hey, Victorian,
What?
you driving?
I mean, I can.
Not to be rude, Linus, but can you even reach the pedals?
Fuck.
I don't know. Can you make something other than rat? And I literally take off running like to be the first one there at the.
With that, you do notice that there's rustling from the snake as it pops up and starts, like, you know, essentially small, like, hissing bit as it's, like, shooting out its tongue. And those of you who don't speak with snakes would just hear kind of a small, like, hiss and just. But you would hear rat food.
We'll go hunt some later.
Yay. dips its head back into your
Does
shirt.
any of them see that? They just go.
I mean, anyone with a passive perception over 12 could. So 13 or higher passive.
Cute.
I wouldn't. If I was over there, I still wouldn't.
If
see
it was a snake, it would have bit you.
Yep. Literally.
So yeah, Evangeline,
He's so
you would have
cute.
seen the snake
What's
pop
his
its head
name?
out.
What's his name?
I don't have it. I just found
Snake.
it.
Snake.
Snack.
Snake.
Yes, snack.
I don't have a name for it.
Yes, snack.
I just found it.
And it won't leave.
He is adorable.
I just cast animal friendship for 24 hours.
Is this how people get pets?
I didn't ask for one, but yeah.
He's gonna, as you're talking about his name, he is going to pop his head out and still kind of hissing a little bit, but you would understand him as saying, Anguis Herba. Those of you who know a little bit of Latin, that would translate to snake in the grass, roughly.
I thought that was
So
a
his
play
name
off
is
of,
Snake.
I'm a snake.
I thought that was a play off of
Snake.
Idris Alba.
No, I don't want to get sued.
I thought.
Say that name again one more time.
Anguis, Anguis, Herba, Herba.
Going called Herb. He's getting the nickname
Accepted.
Herb.
Herb.
He's like Herb.
Accepted.
Okay, it's ERB.
Herb.
And you just hear him reply, accepted.
Cool.
Or Herb.
And then I just slowly just push him.
And as you go to push him down, he actually just starts going around your hand. And then starts slithering out. And right now it's just kind of holding on your arm. Like not constricting it,
Yeah.
but just essentially
Chilling.
resting on your arm.
Oh well. I'm gonna see.
He's adorable.
Don't snakes just? Oh wait, do snakes eat already dead, or do they have to hunt? Right? Like out of.
In extreme cases, they'll eat a dead animal, but in most cases they prefer it alive.
Okay, so no rat kebabs. That's for me.
That's for you. That's for the more mature or the more sophisticated snake.
Tail only left.
Yeah, just like shrimp.
You just. Yeah.
So, as you continue, anyone wanting to do anything else before you get to the Manmobile?
I'm very much excited to get on the road and get John
On
out
the
of-
road?
Yep, on the road. And save John. from
Hold on.
this.
Let me just roll that d12 real quick.
Of cringe damage?
That's 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm commoner, so.
So, you're gonna have a lot of cringe damage with them too.
So, as you finally make it to the monomobile, it looks to be in pretty pristine order. The only difference from before is since it's been sitting there for a bit, at this point it's been about 5 hours. Essentially, the meeting taking quite a few,
Yeah.
and then getting there and getting back taking an hour total. As you get back to the monomobile, a few of the mushrooms have found basically a new kind of chilling place as they're sitting on the top of it. But everyone roll me a perception check as you're just kind of standing getting ready to get into the monomobile.
God damn it.
18.
Welcome to my
Hang on.
23.
Alright.
21.
6.
6. Okay,
He doesn't
so
see it coming.
who got above 15?
It
So
rolled
16
off
or
of
higher.
an 18.
16 or higher, right? Okay, so 3 of you. As the rest is kind of just looking around, getting ready to get into the vehicle.
Oh, wait a second. I just realized.
Fucking
Do I
dangerous.
still have that point of exhaustion?
No, you would have gotten
Okay,
rid of
good.
that. Sitting on top of it looks to be a very strange cat.
That is adorable.
And it seems to be just vibing in the one little sunbeam breaking through the forest canopy.
He's sunbathing.
Just licking his paw, for those of you who can see it.
Yeah.
I don't see shit.
So
I'm
three of us
just
see it.
beelining for it.
I thought it's
But
a pretty
it-
cat.
Goes to kind of do a quick stretch,
I did.
and you notice that it has 6 legs, as well as 2 tendril-like appendages reaching out from its shoulder blades and also kind of stretching as it lays back down.
How big is it?
House cat.
Some
It's
baby.
adorable.
That's a kitty cat. A
Okay,
very
just-
strange kitty cat.
As it goes to lay back down.
Rod, do you want to take care of that?
I want to pet the kitty cat.
You can pet it as you put it down on the ground.
If not supposed to pet, why meow meow shaped?
Very monkey brain.
Let me get Nigel real quick. So, do you go to touch the cat?
No.
I
No.
slowly coax the cat down like,
The cat looks at you, but it looks with indifference.
Listen, guys, the best I got is snake. I can't animal friendship.
And as
cat.
it sees y'all doing that, it almost like an annoyance stands up and then turns around and lays back down facing away.
Maybe.
Cool. Everybody in the
Is
corner, we'll
any-
drive off with it.
Is anybody like letting me know about this? Because I don't see it.
Y'all would see them trying to coax something off the top of the vehicle.
What are you doing?
Kitty cat.
What?
With 6 legs and tendrils.
What?
it's adorable.
What? Not Pog, not Pog.
This is definitely not poggers.
This is so not cash money.
One of the because I'm assuming like the sunflower that was around the cart, over there, still there.
I mean, it's migrated a bit, but it's
Yeah.
still around. You can see it kind of giving little commands to the mushrooms as they go off.
I go up to her and I was like, excuse me, do you know what that is? Besides a cat? Like a specific cat?
It's looks like it's from the Feywild. It's a bit new to myself.
Would
That's all I
I
know.
could I possibly roll a check to find out what it is?
I will let you make an intelligence check on it.
Did I hear him say the thing about the Feywild?
Yeah, he's not saying it quietly.
I'm sorry, what? Feywild? Takes 2
Wow.
steps backs.
Yes, it walked through just a few moments ago.
I ain't fucking with the face.
And it's just regular intelligence, no
I
nature
know,
or
right?
anything.
Fucking with dragons and
Just regular
apparently some.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
Very
Nice. All right. You would know that it's essentially a subspecies, not so much domesticated, but a subspecies of displacer beast.
I knew it. I was like,
Specifically known as a displacer cat.
yeah. I was just like, that's a displacer. It's either a baby displacer beast. I was like,
But it's a fully grown displacer cat.
That's a displacer cat.
You would know that they're a true neutral. It's not a.
so is that a
Don't touch it.
So is it just
Okay.
like a small version of the monster?
Don't touch the cat.
If not supposed to touch, why meow meow shaped?
Does Ron actually say that?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Okay.
climb on top of the car.
Okay.
You're gonna what? You're gonna
He's
what?
gonna, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
Why
touch
does- doesn't
DC
like
10
cats.
acrobatics.
Don't touch the cat.
My face.
know what
That's
that
my.
is?
That's my modifier.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. You
Okay.
make quick work of getting on top of the car,
Okay.
and the cat just looks up at you with indifference. And then goes back to sunbathing.
What are you doing?
What?
He's making
Don't touch it.
Why?
It's going to send you somewhere. That's a displacer cat.
None of us know what
It's
that
It's
is.
part of the. It's just another adventure.
You just have to
You know it's a displacer cat, but Victorin wouldn't know its effects. What they
I
do.
wouldn't.
No.
Oh, okay. Then scratch that.
Like you've heard about them, but
I've heard things, and I know you're not supposed to touch them.
Why?
Fucking with a stick.
I don't know. Just don't touch it!
Poke it with a stick.
Maybe it's venomous.
Look at Strella.
Poke it with a stick.
Please don't touch the cat!
Let's not do that. Let's just get in the car and just drive.
Let's
It'll jump off if it wants to.
Someone finally
Or it can tear
talking
up
with
the car.
reason.
Or can tear up the car? Why would it tear up the car? It's a cute kitty cat.
Would you like to take the back seat or the front seat?
The one with more leg room.
The back seat then.
The back seat it is.
I
One of us is
It's
to
set up
sit
like
on his lap.
it's set up like a jeep essentially,
Okay.
take
like a military jeep.
and
Oh.
like in between me and the cat, I like take a little bit of my rations and just cut through it and just kind of sit back and wait.
It's still just kind of sunbathing, and it hears some of the jerky kind of tap across the ceiling and looks at it, looks at you, and then goes back to sunbathing.
Okay.
I'm getting in the car.
Yep.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm going to the same seat.
Okay, so as everyone else is starting to get into the car, who's driving?
I am.
Are you getting down yet?
Are you gonna drive Victorian?
I can drive it. Nothing else.
Nah, not yet.
Not yet? Okay,
Well,
so
it's-
is anyone getting into the driver's seat?
Okay, then I'm getting in the driver's seat then.
Okay.
Okay.
As soon as Victorian opens the driver's side door, you notice the displacer cat get up and then jump down and into the seat. And then curls back up.
Do you want me to pick it up?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
When you say touch it, you mean like just don't physically touch it, or we can't touch it with other things?
I don't know! Pain! I am just freaking out that it's sitting in my lap!
Oh no, this is before you even sit down. This is when you open the door.
Hey, Victoria. Use your lute. See if you can use your music to calm the wild beast.
Stop it. I'm pretty damn sure.
And if
Already,
that,
I was gonna say, it's already kind of like relaxing. It's like
And
that
if
little donut shape that cats make.
and if that
It's a
doesn't
wolf.
work, go and use it and scrape it out of your seat.
I don't want to touch it.
You're not touching it, your lute is touching it.
That moment
You
when a
were
cat,
looting
that
it.
moment when a cat derails an entire session.
Fuck it, no. I'm gonna drop down in front of Victoria and between the cat and Victoria.
Linus does not care about this shit. We have
Okay.
dragon.
Pet it.
Okay. As you go to pet it, your hand actually sinks through it, like almost as if nothing is there.
Oh, he's chilling somewhere else.
And as you go to pet it, like, are you like trying to gingerly pet it or like tap it?
Like I was trying to like just like kind of normal
Okay.
house cat.
As you do that, and you notice that your hand kind of isn't touching anything, the image disappears, and jumping up from essentially the floorboard is the actual displacer cat, and it starts rubbing its head up against your hand.
Yeah, see, he's friendly.
Don't trust it.
Guys, whoever. I'm just in the backseat.
I did.
Urgent business.
And it just
I-
continues purring.
I just take him like kind of like scoot next like go around, scoot next to it, keep petting it, and just kind of like over time just kind of like slowly like, kind of move it towards the center of the seat.
As you try to physically move it, it does turn to you and go as its tendrils spike up.
All right, all right.
And as you go back to just regularly petting it, it does rub up against and start purring again.
It's like keys.
What's got you so freaked out?
Just- it's like people who don't like.
We have been in a situation where noticing that Molly is nearby.
Molly, actually seeing that you are starting to pet it, reaches up from the back seat and tries to pet it as well, and it just keeps letting y'all pet it.
I'm just saying. Come on, I already have
I would
animal
know
problems.
it's a fake creature, correct?
Yes.
It's a fake creature. I don't trust fake.
Aren't you part Fae?
And Molly's even going to go, what's wrong with fake creatures? As
Nothing.
She then tries to pick it up and has no problems.
Oh, she brings it in the back seat. And,
Yeah, brings it into the back seat.
So you're in the middle, right?
I guess.
Nothing
Or,
is
or
wrong with
Molly
fake
is, and
creatures.
now I'm looking at her petting it. Oh, okay.
It seems to be calm.
Can we go
Do we
now?
all have enough? Do we all have enough room in the back seat with Rolt in there?
So surprisingly, as everyone starts getting into it, including Roll, it actually the vehicle itself almost kind of expands. Those of you who have experience with monomobiles in the past, they are a magic item.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they will expand to their riders.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
Alright.
Monster.
Alright.
Monsters included. If Eddie had gotten into it, it would turn into more of a 18-wheeler style, accommodating for the extra size.
Cool.
Well, it looks like you got a new friend, Molly.
I guess I do. I don't know why.
Yeah, he seems to like you.
Well,
Well, you take care of it.
we'll find out.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine. Victoria,
And then I scoot, like, once Molly picks the displacer cat up, I scoot over to the driver's seat. Just look Victorian.
At least your shotgun, as they say, right?
I'm getting the shotgun seat begrudgingly.
Alright.
And as everyone's kind of climbing into the vehicles, Evangeline, you hear almost as a faint echo coming from the back of your mind, like a phone call trying to keep a solid signal. Evangeline,
Oh.
Temple, Dragul, and it fades back into the distance of your mind.
Okay.
That's not ominous or anything.
And you would recognize it as your second spirit's voice.
Alright. Road trip.
Road trip.
Let's get it.
Trip to Dragul.
And as you get everything going, you do notice that there is a satchel filled with monocrystals for the fuel source.
Okay.
So essentially, instead of there being a key, you just insert the crystal. This is kind of like the earlier designs of vehicles where you didn't really have a key to start it; they were all push ignition. So the essentially push ignition mechanism here is the monocrystals.
Well, better than
Is
getting out of
the-
cranking it.
Crystal even charged?
Yes, these all are shining with magical
Okay.
energy.
Okay.
Those of you who rode with him, he did say that he brought enough fuel to get you to and back from
Okay.
Dragul.
Alright. Yeah.
Okay.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Driver picks the music.
Driver picks the music.
Professor Chester Kinkle.
here, we'll choose from the copyright-free music.
Yes, please.
Let's see here. Do you want... the blue is actual music stuff. So we have War Drums, The Chosen One, The Sweet Lie, which is what's been playing. Strategy, Ready for Battle, Night Trap, Now or Never, Mortal Tension, let's see here, Glorious Battle, Dangerous Land.
Yeah,
That's it.
Whichever one's like, because you're familiar with it, like the closest one that sounds like classic rock.
That would be... Where's Now or Never? There we go. No. Let's see here.
You have trash taste.
Music's trash, man.
I've heard this.
I've heard this, yes.
I've heard this.
Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out...
You know,
It's like that sounds like the equivalent of like going down the interstate listening to the Doom soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
It sounds very similar to Two Steps from Hell.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean.
And yeah, no, I I wait till we can kind of like get out of the forest, like the forest proper,
Oh right, there's no speed limit.
and I punch it.
So it's a bit harder to really punch it here while there is streets. They are worn over by just the natural entities that get here, or that live here. So, and this forest itself is pretty expansive. This is part of the main reason why it takes so long, even with Monomobile, to get to Dragul. Which, even at looking at a map, the capital is actually surrounded by the forest
Oh, okay.
before you get to the plateau. Do what?
So what you're telling me is like Dragul is like Russia.
Not in today's
Essentially.
The
context.
cars
No,
are still
say-
tough.
Well, no. Even in today's context, Russia is still kind of hard to get to
That's true.
the capital of it.
Yeah.
But anybody with enough willpower and enough hatred for the people who live at the capital can find their way to it, making not even the leader safe.
Oh shit.
And don't worry, I'm still talking about Dragul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still
yeah.
talking about Dragul. Definitely not Russia and the capital and, a leader that's name starts with a P. Last name starts with a P. Anyways,
Anyway,
You're welcome.
poggers.
so, you do start to make your way through it. Coming across during the day, while it does seem pretty bustling with nature itself, you don't see too many major predators out. You may catch a glimpse of some predatory birds or minor predatory animals, but nothing as big as what you initially came across.
There's only a dragon.
So as we're going along and everything like that, I'm just conversations being had and whatnot. So, Victorin, how's those woods?
What?
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 As Molly pipes up as
In the
well.
warts that Teak helped you with.
What?
You just hear Stars go.
Fuck you.
Roy's sitting like on the back driver's side. Just
Nah, that's more of a bard's thing anyway.
Do you need healing? We're all just going. Do you need healing?
Both of you can suck a dick.
Ro, I didn't say nothing.
Roll.
No, not
What's a dick?
The angry parent is looking at you.
There is a child in the vehicle.
It is a thing that boys have that girls don't. I will tell you a few years from now when you're older. Don't worry.
Why should Linus suck one?
He shouldn't. Victorian is simply saying naughty words again, sweetie.
Oh, okay.
Aren't you, Victorian?
As you now have a Minotaur just kind of
Disappointing
You should-
father
leaning
figure.
over you.
I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed, Victorian.
Hey, meta knowledge. That's two dads now.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
You'll find out eventually.
I'm sorry, what?
No, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, no.
Emotional damage!
But no, I was just picking fun at Victoria and Molly. It's, which is hilarious because Bard, you can't take a joke.
Molly just kind of goes back to petting the displacer cat.
Wait, where's everyone sitting? I'm at the far
I'm in
passenger.
shotgun.
Passenger driver's side, back seat.
I'm right behind Victorian.
So
I guess
Molly-
I'm in the very, very, very back.
There's a couple bench seats.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
You're
guess.
sitting with Molly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Raw, Molly, Evangeline then?
It's John, and it's John.
So,
I'm right with
and I look at, I kind of, does the thing have like a rear
Having
view?
a real mind
Yeah,
conversation.
it has. It's just like a normal vehicle.
Well, I kind of angle it to Rote, and I look at her and it's like, hey, Rote. I'll try to get to the eye in the rear view. Should we wait to talk about everything that's been going on later? And I kind of like motion with my eyes back to Molly.
Probably.
All right.
I'm eating
this-
rack of balls like eat potato chips.
Snacks.
By the way, has anyone seen anything strange in the air? Besides, the green dragon?
Other than the dragon that was briefly attacking Lung? No.
What color was it?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't get a good look.
We saw something brass or bronze colored the other day. It was interesting. I've never seen it before.
I have.
Oh,
I saw it in a dream. Well, dreamscape, I guess.
Elaborate.
Yes, do elaborate.
I was. I don't dream. So.
Wait, what? You don't dream?
No, I relive memories. That's right.
Next song
That's-
you want to play with.
That's what dreams are.
That's what.
Not necessarily.
Not always.
Dreams can also be fantasies.
Of course, they are.
Yes.
Nani?
Nani?
Anyways,
Anyway, I saw something brass fly across the sky in my dreamscape, if you will.
And did you happen to get a decent look at it in your
It
dream?
was brass. It was a brass colored flash.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Interesting.
So,
well then,
it's something.
just thinking, and somebody correct me if this Minotaur is wrong. What kind of breath weapon do brass dragons have?
Fire.
And we saw that city burned to ash with, or burned down, well, some sort of breath weapon. What kind of breath weapon was it?
Fire.
Anyone else putting the mathematicals together on that?
It could be a chromatic.
That's the thing, though. Metallics are usually the good ones, and the chromatic are more prone to evil things.
Like keeping people hostage?
We're not going there.
Well, we're gonna have to go
During
to
this
the adventure.
conversation, the displacer cat has jumped out of Molly's lap and has made its way and is currently walking over Victorian's lap and starts to curl around and lay down.
Ah, just pet the thing.
Still eating Recabots.
Cameron thought of a great joke, but Brooke's not going to say it.
I know where that mind was going.
Who knew the one thing that a bard would be afraid of?
All right.
Poor little pussycat.
In my good Christian.
Not on my Christian Minecraft server.
There's too many variables in play. Like, I'm not saying that like what Evangeline saw was wrong. I'm not saying that at all. It's just like there's to say that it was definitely a brass dragon without us knowing for sure.
Well, of course. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I wouldn't even say I'm making assumptions. Just noting evidence.
No, yeah, it's definitely there.
More pieces of the puzzle, as it were.
But I mean, regardless, we gotta figure out this thing. We gotta get Eddie and John back, and Teak as well. And
I mean, he can stay there. We
here I
don't
thought,
talk about
and
tea,
here I thought you
no.
were a hero.
I never claimed to be.
What happened between you and Teak?
I'll tell you later when younger ears aren't around.
Ah. Ah!
What's wrong, Ron? As Molly pops up.
And then I look over. Yeah. What's wrong?
It's nothing. It's just. I thought that
And I'm just gonna.
Victorian had better taste.
And what?
Can I?
I-
Can I?
I'm gonna go ahead and
insight check? Oh, like his assumption.
Yeah, go for it.
While that's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and say
21.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
so
tell.
can I tell you exactly what I'm thinking, where I was going with this?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if this is gay or not. I was just thinking like, The guy was a bit of an asshole. I mean, a hill dwarf? Come on, go for a mountain dwarf at least.
So Rolth is a little racist.
I mean, the guy was a bit of an asshole to me, so.
I'm just gonna go over and look at Roll and say, well, if it makes you feel any better, you did touch each other. Well, the dwarfs did the touching.
Not like that.
I'm just gonna.
Bro, not like that.
Okay.
Oh, like a massage?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
Oh.
There was
Like-
definitely
like-
some healing
like-
involved.
Okay.
Like I said.
I'm gonna look at Molly and I'm gonna go.
So just as confused.
There was some healing involved, that's for sure.
No, don't salvage it. It's better this way.
So, as the trip has kind of made its, essentially its main work towards the end of this forest, you do find yourself finally at the base of the mountain that leads up to the plateau.
As we're leaving the forest, goodbye, fungal friends.
And one of the ones hanging off the roof goes, "But I'm coming with."
What?
So am I. As another one comes. I told you had some fungus pods stuck on the car. No one removed them or told them to move, so they just kind of came with.
They're going with it.
I have no problems with this.
We introduced a invasive fungus. Fungus.
No, they're going
durable.
for. Wait, how
That's
fast
fine.
are you driving? How fast is he driving?
Automobiles go at a max about 60 miles an hour.
They're going for a what? In the air?
They're pretty well anchored on
I
there.
mean, they're angry, but they went.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them that were like underneath, like the roof covering.
Meg
towards the
R2D2
back are
noise.
fine.
I'm gonna.
Oh my
I hear it. I'm gonna look over.
Hello. Hello, 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 hello. And then one even kind of dropping down from the roof area. Hello.
No.
Hello.
Me, no.
Victoria,
But
if you could find a couple of them with different pitches, maybe one interesting show for you to put on.
that is wood.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. As the snake pops his head out.
Everyone here is.
You hear.
Monomobile Quartet. That would
Now
be
we just need
so
a couple
cool.
of badgers.
Yeah?
Badger.
Mushroom, mushroom, snake.
If only someone was a druid.
Can we come across a druid?
You might.
Alright,
Plenty of people for hire in this world.
apparently.
Maybe we need a druid for our choir.
I just take in I'm looking for the path.
Yeah, the path that you were on starts to go into more of a well-worked road
So,
that
since.
whirls around the plateau. So it takes some time. Even from where you're at, you can see kind of further up what looks to be a rest area etched into the mountain itself.
Oh wow.
So, since no one's asked it yet. Are we there yet?
Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?
Dragul.
Dragul, Dragul, Dragul,
Yes.
Dragul, Dragul, Dragul. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?
I'm slowly spawning
A city.
daggers.
It's a big city.
Oh, a city, a city, a city, a city, a city, a city.
While we're
Before
there,
you
can we
ask,
check out that
A city
temple?
is a group of other.
What were you saying out loud? What was
I
Benjamin
was
saying?
saying, speaking of Druggle, while we're there, can we check out the temple?
A temple, 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 temple. What's a temple? What's a temple? What's a temple? What's a temple? What's a temple?
We can check it out.
Any specific one?
I'm gonna look at just one of the ones nearest the door. Are you all mind or are you all individuals?
What's a mind? 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 What's a mind?
Intellect,
I don't
intelligence, not high. HP, 1.
Hey,
This is
just
going
like
to be a
me.
good turn.
Dies of 1d4 damage.
I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna start.
Watch
answering
everyone
all the
get
questions.
high.
A city
Well,
is
our
a
driver
group
would
of
get high, so.
temples or people who worship things. I've got
Hi.
kids. I'm used to answering dumb
Yeah.
questions.
Watch me roll intelligence. Tell Wolf to go.
Just
Dies.
no rocks
Dies.
at our front.
Our driver gets high. I know the campaign is going, boys.
It's
Alright, you
fun.
fall off of a 200-foot cliff face.
We all die.
The monk, I cast slow flow. You're still dead.
You're still
Rick,
dead.
guys, bye.
Alright, so,
Let's get the Dracula boys.
as you're starting to make your way up, you are having to drive just a little bit slower, as while there are monomobiles, the whole gear shift hasn't been necessarily invented for incline and decline for vehicles yet.
It's low and high.
But you're still do what?
Low and high.
Yeah, you're able to at least keep going though. It looks like it was etched out originally for horse and wagon, so it just kind of adapted itself to a road, as no one wanted to put that much strain on a horse going at this much of an angle.
Yes.
So, you are able to slowly make your way up. At this point, though, it has kind of come to the end of the day. You have turned on your lantern lights, but it's kind of getting to the point where if you continue through, you're definitely going to be making yourself more tired.
Are we anywhere close to that rest stop?
Oh yeah, you've passed one of them on the early way up, and then you're coming up on another one.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired.
Agreed.
It's been a long day,
It has been a long day.
Pat,
and never mind. I thought you needed to pee. Hey, I know
I would like a rest stop too.
we're about to get to a rest stop.
Yes, yes. This is
But,
a little thing.
yeah, no, I think we should take and stop here for at least a little while because my eyes are getting tired and I don't exactly want to drive off the side of a mountain. So
That would be nice not to do.
yeah.
No
So
glory in us.
Appreciated.
as soon as we can, take and pull into the rest stop. I'm like, all right, we're stopping here for the night.
Sounds good to me.
So, as you pull into this, etched into essentially the mountainside rest stop, it looks a little backwoods, as it's kind of like a wood, shack, like a large shack. It has a bit of a canopy area where it looks like some tables are set up, and there are a few patrons here and there. Most looking to be backpackers or people kind of walking on their own. Not really a whole lot of vehicles here. But it has what looks to be a few open rooms and pretty welcoming front entrance for as friendly as old sand-dusted wood and
Right.
screen can be for you.
Right.
Well, so long as it's a more
Actually,
as opposed to
Strella
ding,
would-
ding, 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 ding.
Strella would be a
Okay.
little more akin to this. You actually kind of notice some of the wood craftsmanship as being kind of similar to some of the road stops in Batet itself. So you were kind of like, you're seeing this as one of those nice hole in the wall stops.
oh, okay.
This time kind of being an actual hole in the wall.
Hold the mountain wall.
Just like I will live. Just like how I live in anyway. So we're just gonna.
And as you go into the entrance, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone staying out, just so I know who's going in and who's not?
Going in.
I'll stay with the car.
You're going in?
Yep.
As you get out of the vehicle, the displacer cat follows you.
You got a pet now too.
You've been adopted.
Me and Molly.
You've been adopted.
Do what?
Me and Molly are gonna go find the latrines.
Okay. Yeah. You see the obviously labeled outhouses. And there's even some that are even meant for larger creatures.
Hey.
So you find one with these, and there's even one meant for quadrupedal creatures.
Who
like
didn't wipe the suit
centaurs
off?
What the heck? Who didn't flush?
So who's going in? Victorin,
I'll probably go in because it looks
Strella.
very. Yeah, it looks pretty familiar to me.
Evangeline, what are you doing?
I'll stay with the cart.
Okay, so you're staying with Linus and the monomobile. Okay, so we have
Strength in numbers.
2 going to the bathroom, 2 going inside, and then 2 staying with the car. Okay. So as you go in, you do see, I wouldn't say necessarily familiar in the sense of you know them, but you do see a very familiar race of people being Grey Orcs. 2 of them sitting behind the counter, which you would know primarily came out of Orkruff as far as like their major city in Batet, but they're pretty considered calmer than their green brethren.
So I have to ask, like, by the way I'm garbed, does it look like I'm from? You know?
Oh yeah. As
so-
you walk in, you would even see one of the orcs sitting at the table go, "Oh, it's good to see a fellow Batten." And your mate?
No.
Oh, good. I'd have thought lesser of you. I'm sorry, but your genes would not survive in Batet.
Indeed.
Anyways, how can I help a fellow kingsman?
We're here for the night.
Well, we do happen to have 2 vacant rooms, both of which are shared twin or split twin beds. So there's 2 beds. Oh, we're no longer in the vehicle.
So how
Let me
was-
change the radio.
Why are we still hearing boss music?
But the assembly, we do normally charge a silver a night, but for fellow statesmen, we'll put it down to 7 copper a night.
Many thanks, my fellow.
It's always good to see familiar kind in a far-off land.
Indeed. Far less harsher in our homeland, is it not?
Oh, by far. But the good thing is it makes the rats here much fatter.
Then I take out one. A delicacy, is it? And then I hold it up. Would you like one?
Ah, please. And he just pops the whole thing in, tail and all. Just
Oh, the hair and everything. Oh.
Yeah. I did the same.
many things.
Of course.
And then the other one's gonna look over and go, "Do I not get any?"
I have one more actually. Well, I was saving it for a late night snack, but seeing that I have fellow kinsmen here, for you as well.
Like, and this, instead of just eating it whole like his brother did, he bites it in half at first and eats the other half after.
I'm just gonna look. See, it is a delicacy.
I believe you.
They were too afraid to try it. Unfortunate.
As I said, weak genes.
But yes, we do have 6 people. However,
Hmm.
I believe that I'm sure that they would appreciate it more than I will. I prefer the stars.
Well, sadly, there's not a safe place to sleep under the stars here unless you want to sleep in the road. But you can at least easily make yourself at home if you have a sleeping bag or a tent.
I can make.
And we won't even charge you for that.
Thank you.
But for the rooms, we will still keep it at 7 copper apiece for your friends.
And then I'll go ahead and pay the 7 copper.
So, you're just going to get them one room? Or do you want to get both rooms?
I'll get them both rooms.
So,
it'll
then
be
14 copper. So,
I'm
1
just-
silver and 4 copper.
Okay.
Or if you have the 14 copper, just mark off 14 copper.
Yeah. Okay. So
At this point, you would see what looks to be a waitress coming out towards the patio, serving what looks to be human, and then another heavily garbed individual sitting across from them. And it looks to be stew bowls, at least. You can't necessarily see what in the stew, but it looks like stew at a distance.
So I'll go ahead and like drop the 14. Both rooms, please, for my friends.
Perfect. And he pulls back the copper and grabs the 2 room keys and hands them off to you.
Victoria, if you would like to give them to our friends outside.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the Rough Inn. We look forward to helping you in any way we can.
Thank you.
There is a open shower, as we have access to the natural spring of the mountain. But if you want it warmed, we do also have warming pots where you can pour it in and wait for it to heat up from the fire and pour it over yourself.
So, are you gonna go ahead and I'm gonna
And there is like as you're kind of looking around, there is like a bit of a trinket shop off in the corner and what looks to be a dining area to the
Yeah.
left. It's not very massive, but it's like a hole in the wall truck stop.
Yeah. I believe, as much as I enjoy the delicacies we have back home, I'm quite hungry. So I'll go ahead and grab something to eat.
Oh, well, you're in luck. Our kitchen staff is actually our mother, as well as the waitress is our sister. So you'll find many home delicacies here.
Fantastic. I've been feeling homesick for a while.
Well, hopefully our rat stew will fill you right up.
I'm sure.
If not, we do also have snake tartare, or if need be, if you're feeling a little adventurous, we do have the escargot elbow.
Well, we always were adventurous, hence we're hard.
Exactly.
Thank you for your recommendations. I'll see you. I'll go talk with my friends so we may have dinner.
And thank you for your business.
I'm heading out. I'm not gonna say shit.
And you would notice as you're just casually walking out, when you kind of look around, not only do you see some of the like traditional Batet kind of artwork in the dining area, but you do see like some trinketized, like trinket-like, but some of the commonly sold glasswork that's sold from Batet in the trinket shop.
That's cool. So I'll go ahead and just sit down and wait for them before I order anything. I'll just, if the
Alright.
waitress comes and say, I'm waiting for my friends, thank you.
Okay, there is one big bench table
Yep.
inside, but it's mostly the sitting outside. Do you want to sit inside or outside?
I'll just sit inside. If
Okay.
everyone comes in and they want to sit outside, we'll move.
Okay. So, as Victorian just kind of briskly walks outside,
Like,
uh,
not gonna say nothing.
you go have a seat, and the waitress does come over. Oh, hello there, sweetie. What can I get for you?
I'm waiting for my
Yay, it's
They're-
hi, honey, not ding 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 backwards.
Oh, I'm waiting for
They're from Batet,
Yes.
not Creek.
Oh, that's how Creek is. Good to know.
Yeah.
That's if you ask them.
I'm waiting for my friends.
All right, sweetie. Well, would you like anything to drink while you're waiting?
Just some water.
Perfect. And she goes to the back and she brings you back your water. Evangeline and Linus, you would notice Victorian kind of briskly walking out.
You okay, broski?
And at this point, I'm sure Ralt and Molly would have been coming out. And there are, there's kind of like a open
Does
fountain
this have anything?
with towels kind of next to it for washing hands
Yeah,
and
okay.
latrines. It's all part of the access to the spring, so they kind of worked with it to have a pressure
Very nice.
fountain as well as one that puts out water
Very
for
nice.
showering.
So we've got rooms, but there's only enough for 4 of us to actually sleep in the rooms. Strella said that she was going to just sleep under the stars, so
I can join her outside.
alright. What about you?
Doesn't matter to me.
Molly, who do you want to room with?
I would like an actual bed.
There is an actual bed, yes.
Okay, good.
Who do you want to be your bunkmate tonight?
Where are you sleeping, Victoria?
Well, there's 2 rooms, so they're either one of these, so
Okay.
So Victorian and Molly, and then Linus and Evangeline. Does that sound palatable for everybody?
I mean, if you guys
Ooh,
think,
how about girls' night?
Girls' night!
Girls' night!
Girls' night!
And so then she jumps over with Evangeline.
Alright, so Evangeline and Molly in one room. Linus and Victorian. Will you all behave? Behave. I'm waiting for an answer.
don't look at me. She's the one, or he's the one that's causing trouble.
How am I causing trouble?
And as you're having this
Settle
argument,
down.
the displacer cat does jump up towards your shoulder.
No, it's fine, bro.
Alright. But Victorian, is it fine with you?
Fine.
It's not a no.
Well then,
I believe somebody had a very nice tent spell.
Yes, I do.
May we borrow that for the night?
Yes.
Make sure you keep an eye on the car.
Fair enough.
I can surround the. I might be able to actually surround the car with it.
If we seem close enough, perhaps.
If you sleep inside, I mean, you might be able to take them, like, with the magic and everything, it might.
It's a 10-foot space, isn't it?
Yes.
As wonderful as those seats were, I'd rather be able to stretch out on the ground.
That's fair.
I will put myself on the driver's side, though.
Recliners.
Well, that, I'm
And the
thinking
best
about
thing
that.
best thing is about that spell, anybody I choose can't get in.
Fair enough.
Yay!
Will that spell surround the car, if possible? No, it's a carport.
No, the car's would be counted as a large.
It's, it can't,
Yeah, I would dispel it.
oh yeah, that's right. It's 10 mediums, no large.
Mm-hmm. No lurges.
It's okay. I'll sleep on one side of it.
It's technically counted as a large construct, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still a large
Yeah, that's right.
Large
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't put a structure inside another structure.
So, as rooms are kind of decided upon, and Strella hasn't seen them come back in yet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, can I see them through any windows or anything?
Oh, I
There's
thought-
a few windows.
Oh, I thought you came outside to explain the situation.
Nope, I'm gonna
Nope, I did.
immediately hit
Okay.
Rod, Evangeline, and Linus with a psychic link.
Okay.
Y'all can feel it. It's like, I'm waiting at the at the dining hall if you'd like to join.
Ah, what do they got?
Well, you'd have to look for yourselves. You're not in the link. So
No,
Is
I've
it
got
weird?
the link.
it's classic Victet delicacies. I'm quite excited, so you all should come.
Insight check on that.
I'm not hiding anything.
I know.
No,
Hold
I
on.
know.
Insight check.
But,
Go ahead.
but like, just like the.
Linus, are you okay?
Like she's just
The look on your
excited
face,
again.
you look
Yeah.
constipated.
That's 21.
Yeah, you can tell that Strella is actually really excited for this. Like, there's no maliciousness in your
Nah.
voice. It's actual excitement.
Just with that,
Yeah.
that down home potato
Yeah.
cooking.
Potato cooking.
Potato cooking.
They got some fried grits and they got some calf fries and.
Wrong region. It's more like
This is more like
Egypt kind of thing, because we're all like
Like
covered.
falafel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, shawarma.
Ooh, my favorite, chilled monkey brains.
Well, it's rat, so.
Alright, I think they're like, I don't know. Sounds like we got food.
So
And
like
then Strella's
the
waiting
the
for us.
weird mixture of potato is like Egypt and Louisiana.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest
right.
with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm from the boonies,
So-
dudes.
Some Cajun Nile crocodile. That actually sounds good. Why does that sound good?
It's
Because it is probably.
yeah.
Probably.
It's still crocodile. It's just a
Yeah.
bigger crocodile.
Yeah, big alligator.
Alligator, crocodile. It's all right. One sees you now, one sees you later. Or one sees you in a while, one sees you later.
But yeah, no. Yeah, apparently Strella's in there waiting for us for food, so.
Oh, food.
I'm just gonna go to my room.
Okay.
Alright.
Molly, food.
Yeah, I could do for some food.
Food it is. I start walking.
Victoria, you should come eat with us.
I think I'll pass. I'm not.
Please.
Come on, Victorin. You wouldn't leave such a cute little centaur unhappy. Yes, Molly, on cue. Perfect. Just like we practiced.
That's how we guilt trip everyone.
Yes.
That's how we get free shit.
Okay, I go.
You just even odds it. Just,
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, everyone makes their way in and sits down, and the waitress comes, and before we have a chance to look at the menus, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
going?
And we are back.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Oh, are we rolling?
Oh no.
Well, we are now.
So, as you have each gotten into the dining room, did I get it? Alright, I got it. Cool. And had a seat at the one long kind of like bench table they have inside. The waitress coming back hands each of you a menu. Alright, is there anything I can get y'all started with tonight?
Like the,
We
what
got-
was it? All the thing that he said about being adventurous, the escargot.
Oh, escargot alamo.
Yeah, I'll take one and the right.
And the rest too?
Mhm.
Okay. So, with these being originally from Batet, they don't just call it straight out red stew.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it essentially has a Batetan slang to it, to each of them.
Rattouille.
The rat touffee.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, right. No, that's a different dish.
It's a good one.
But essentially, you can see that they have different types of stews. Essentially, they kind of call them by their colors.
Mm-hmm.
You have brown, red, and orange. They have main meat dishes. One called a round cut. They have one that's a strip cut. Then they have one that's what's known as a bloody cut. And then they have what looks to be like appetizers. They have one that's called field nuggets. They have another one that's called, for lack of a better term, water crabs. And then they have another one that's called bowl of tails.
Is that the rat kebabs?
No, that's
The field nuggets?
you would recognize that one under the family dishes.
Oh.
It's part of a larger name dish.
So that's a family pattern. I know what I'm about.
And it's the only one that's on there, but it consists of, now you being from Batet would understand essentially that dialect of the area,
Mm-hmm.
which you would understand it as being 10 rat kebabs, skinned, grilled, and served. It would have essentially a serving bowl of brown stew, and then you would have basically a laid out kind of grilled veggie where it's mostly tubers, like radishes, potatoes. But then with this area, they were also able to get leeks, so they're grilled leeks and everything kind of put out.
It's the fancier version of what we usually eat.
Yeah, because there's more resources
Yeah.
for cheaper,
Yeah,
essentially.
for cheaper, yeah. So, to get us started, can we have the family dish of the...
Oh, for certain, sweetheart. And is there anything y'all would like to drink? We got water, ale, beer.
I'll just have a water.
Water? All right.
Is it cold beer?
Oh, of course.
I'll take a cold beer. I have not had one in quite some time.
Same.
All right. Would you like heavy or light?
Let's start light and we shall work our way up.
What?
Same.
All right. And for you, madam?
May I have ale?
Ale, most certainly. Would you like peach, cherry, or apple?
I'll have apple.
All right.
How strong is your ale, by the way? And I kind of like motion her towards Molly.
And she's gonna holler back towards the kitchen. Ma. Yeah, sweetie. How strong's the ale? About 80 proof.
Okay, so not for Molly.
We do also have juices for the youngins.
Molly,
We got
juice?
apple and cherry.
Molly.
I'll take some apple juice and some water. All right, sweetie, coming right up, and she just kind of pats her shoulder. All right.
I like this lady.
Anything else for anyone before I go back? Would we like any appetizers?
the family one will be our appetizer.
Oh.
I'll pay for this. It's good that my friends here get to try out some more whole
Okay.
dishes.
Would you like anything of it to come out early, or we can always get you something to hold over what's on our actual appetizers if you'd like.
No, quite alright.
All right.
It's you can't see it, but you can see the crinkle in her eyes. She's just smiling.
Okay. All right.
And are these humans as well that are serving us, or
No, they're all Grey Orcs.
Grey Orcs? Okay.
They are basically one big family. The two brothers man the desk, the mom's in
Gotcha.
the kitchen, and the daughter
Okay.
and sister.
Okay. I missed that earlier.
Sorry about that.
Okay,
Uh,
that's my fault.
is the waitress.
Okay.
So it's kind of a family ran hole in the wall stop.
Family-owned establishment.
You gotta support the locals.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll be right back out with them drinks. And she makes her way back to the kitchen.
Strella, I hope you're not making us eat anything that we'll be regretting later.
No, of course not. It's delicacies from my home, and since I'm so far away, it's good to see that there's something here at least.
Well, I'm willing to try everything at least once.
Of course.
I'm gonna lean over to Molly and say, Molly, just try it, at least one bite. If you don't like it, politely discard after that.
Okay.
Do they have like local dishes here? Like not just Batetan.
I mean, they have a couple options.
It's like the cheese.
Like they have like
Yeah, like the cheeseburger if you're going to.
they have your basic chicken fingers and
Yeah, and all that like that.
and
stuff.
cheeseburgers and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I'm already looking at the menu now. Yeah, I'm already looking at the menu now.
Pick up the name. What's that?
Do you really want to know?
That's why I'm asking.
It's rat.
Ah, okay.
He's from the slums.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean,
Out of anybody at this table, he's more than likely to understand eating rat.
It's rat. Medium rare.
Okay. And this one?
It's a little rarer than that, and I believe that's scorpion.
Okay. Like nothing like
Well, there's the
wiggly.
classic one. Weekly one. Like, what do you mean by weekly?
Like actually still alive.
Oh no, we understand that some of those who aren't locals tend to not enjoy the more bloody pieces of meat.
Alright. Yeah, I think
I'll let you make this up. I just gave you the base design. I will let Strella tell you whatever it is on the menu. That's what it is.
Okay. And then like I think I remember this. I think I remember like this dish. This like.
Are you
like
looking at the stews now?
Yeah, like the
Brown, red, and orange.
Yeah.
Brown, red, and orange.
yeah.
Which one are you pointing at?
Like I'm pointing at the red one.
The red?
Yeah.
The red one's from a more rare version of wolves.
Okay. And the orange one's like supposed to be like spicy.
Yes, very much so. So some of the herbs in the tent are quite. It's not meant really for much weaker and constitution.
Well, yeah, that's kind of saying something then, because like Eddie took and ate this once, and good God, that. Yeah, no, he was.
Yes, the Batetan are quite hardy people. That's why we enjoy our land despite its scarce resources.
Yeah.
Alright.
And at this point, the waitress does come back out with your drinks. Each of them in what would be considered in most other areas really ornate glasswork glasses. But to the people of Batet, it's kind of like the average quality glass. As Strella would know, glass is their major export. So to them, a basic artisan can make extremely good looking glasswork to other countries. But inside Batet, it would be considered mediocre.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's to Strella what would be considered kind of like the butter dish china quality of Batet, but to everyone else it looks like a really good quality glass cup.
It's them coming up with the reused Rudy's plastic cups.
Yeah. So like they're sturdy and they're worth keeping around, but it's one of those things that to a Batetan it's kind of the average work, maybe below average, but to a lot of people outside of Batet it looks pretty decent. All right, sweeties. Well, here's your drinks, and she starts putting them down in front of everyone. The beers come out in a glasswork stein. Basically, looks like your metal stein that you normally use, but it's completely glasswork. And it almost looks like the beer, whenever the light reflects off from the torches, almost makes it glow like a lantern itself.
Oh wow.
That's
And so to them, they're just like, wow, I'm just there going, he's going, why are you guys?
The ales actually come out in shaped glasswork of the flavor.
Ooh.
And then the basic juices and waters and such come out in what seem to be average looking glasses.
I'm just looking at them. Why are you guys so? Why are you guys so excited about shitty glassware?
What? Are you
It's like-
kidding?
It's
amazing.
mediocre, but I suppose it's not exactly the most fancy glassware. However,
Last
You
time I
see
saw
Maiden
glass-
But's head at the bottom.
yeah.
Last time I saw glassware this fancy was when one of the upper echelon paladins, one of the star paladins, was actually getting married.
I suppose
They brought out the fancy equipment to the monastery.
were they made from Batet?
Possibly.
That's concerning. If that's the case.
You have to remember, we're a small monastery that's not very rich.
And whoever sold you that was ripping you off if they think that's impressive glassware.
And they didn't bring you one that was your size of a pint. It was
So what's
a
it-
full-size pint.
This, my friend, is a pint.
So to roll, they did bring you out a slightly bigger glass.
Oh.
So you have about 2 pints.
Comparative.
That pint is the smallest beer stein that they have. So
Oh.
that's why you got a pint.
It tastes good. Got that nice malty flavor. It's good.
Did they
All
bring-
right, sweeties. Well, it'll take just a minute, and your food will be on its way out.
Appreciate
Anything else I can get for you while I'm here?
I'd like to try the escargot, if that'd be possible.
Most certainly. Let me get that in the kitchen, and we'll have it right out.
Thank you.
And
And with that, she starts to make her way back to the kitchen.
so we're gonna deal with the proverbial dragon in the room.
Well, we're almost there, and after that, we'll go ahead and open it once we get there. Hopefully it's nothing too...
Chaotic.
We are all in agreement that we're not opening that package, right?
Of course
Absolutely.
I'm
not.
it's still with me.
Not touching it.
Okay, good.
I mean, we kind of gotta, in order to take and read the notes. So
Right, but we're not opening until we get to the city, because
no, we're all in agreement on that. In fact,
I ain't touching it.
in fact, here's a thought. You say you can fill up a 10-foot space with that tent spell that you got, right, Victoria?
Yes.
Can anything go through it?
Not unless I allow it to.
Okay.
you think you can cast it, throw it in, and no one else goes in?
Or we have to have one person open it.
Oh, we're not having anybody open it. I'm not doing that. No.
Not right now.
Well, it's for safety reasons, I suppose.
But
Well, something tells me there's some sort of scroll or something in there that if it's open prematurely, bad things will happen. So I am not risking it.
well, there's that, but also
The proverbial Pandora's box.
yeah, we could take and we could be. I don't want to take and I don't want to cause more problems where we're going. We've already got
Oh.
enough.
We don't
You're-
have enough problems.
You're afraid that if we go and open it in the city, that bad things will go out and affect the civilians. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, granted, I mean, yeah. This green dragon. He's a businessman. You know, was a man, right? There was a
Perhaps
female.
we should...
Male. It was male.
Perhaps we should have this talk a little less, and I'm gonna look around for a little bit public area.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just,
And as y'all are having this conversation, you hear from the outside,
Oh dear.
as
My
looking
word.
out the window, you see what looks to be 12 motorcycle design vehicles pulling into the parking lot
Boy.
with what looks to be majorly orcs riding them.
Lovely.
And then you're gonna hear from over at the desk, "Ma, the cousins are home."
Oh, good. The regulars.
And the door kind of kicks open as one of the orcs steps through. "Well, if it ain't family!" And with that, 10 other orcs come filing through. With following behind them, looks to be another person wrapped in similar garb as Strella.
Well then.
And they're just carrying this boisterous conversation going off to the side with essentially exchanging family pleasantries about how
Just like your paladin.
they
was.
finally got back from their trip up north of the island to bring back some trade supplies. And if you look outside, you can see a small trailer that what looks to be the two that you saw earlier starting to unload stuff from the trailer and bringing it around back.
It's a supply run.
And as they go off kind of outside and around back to start hauling everything off, the one dressed in very similar wrappings as Strella for half a second stops and makes eye contact with Strella and then follows the rest as they head out. And it wasn't like trying to be stealthy or hiding or
Yeah,
anything.
He's like a glance and then.
They directly looked at Strella and then paused for a second and then walked back out.
Someone you know?
There's a lot of people in the tent that dress like
Fair enough.
It's quite a common dress considering the weather. So, but the orcs do seem to be.
Oh, don't mind them as you hear the kitchen door opening. Those are just our family. They help go get new supplies from all over the island for us. This kind of works as their home here as well. Well, here we go with, we'll go ahead and start you off with the escargot a la mode. And it's kind of a creamy, gray almost ice cream. It's kind of a sweeter meal. It's savory and sweet all at the same time.
Try the gray stuff, it's delicious.
I
And
mean, that's
Yummy.
escargot. It's pretty good.
it's in kind of a small bowl.
That's right.
I'd say roughly about the same size as this.
Okay.
And it's topped with what looks to be crushed bread, and then with a small bit of what would essentially be sour cream on the top.
And did she already
And,
put the family meal for everyone?
this came out first as she
Okay.
thought it was what you wanted as an appetizer.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, that's fine.
So she sets that out and, all right, and gives each of you a spoon with it. I'll be right back out with the main course. Feel free to go ahead and dig on in.
I'm gonna grab the spoon, and it'll just disappear into my scar. Just.
And
Would you
with
like
that-
to all try some? It's quite delicious.
I've heard of like the richer people like eating like sometimes, like very rarely, but like as this escargot thing. What is it?
Do I know? I've never heard of it. Because
Yeah.
they're like being adventurous.
You would understand that it's made from traditionally in Batet at least, it's made from volcanic snails, which are roughly a large-sized creature, but they're really easy to take down and tame. So there's farms. But more than likely up here, what they used were just giant snails.
Oh, okay.
Mixed in with a buttermilk cream, finely seasoned with normally what's in Batet would be normally the heartier spices, maybe like dried crushed jalapenos and stuff like that to kind of put up a kick. But you would assume here it's more like
It's mild.
garlic and
Yeah.
it's more of a mild spice instead of a strong curry spice.
Okay.
But it kind of has the texture of not soft serve ice cream, but like the ice cream where you can easily put a spoon through it and eat without having to like chunk at it to get it out.
Gotcha.
And it has a nice swirl to it between the gray and the white from the buttermilk cream.
It's quite delicious where I'm from. You should try it. So should all of you.
I think I'll pass.
Go
just
on.
eat-
Don't be like that, Victoria.
Well-
Don't the higher classes enjoy a bit
If
of
I buy-
escargot?
I'll,
If I barf later, it's because of you.
I'll try a
Yeah,
little bit
I'll-
of it.
It's,
I'm up for
Do a little bit
anything.
of
Let me see here. Give me a second to bring up y'all's character sheets to see who would actually really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
I basically like Cajun food.
Yeah, food lights, spicy food, red meats, rum. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Actually, yeah, because of the spices found in this area, you would actually enjoy it because of its more subtle flavor. You would not like the original Batetan version though,
Yeah.
because this is more mellow flavor, to whereas the Batetan one is like super spicy.
Alright.
So, Evangeline, you actually find some comfort in this food. Let's see here, Mr. Linus. Let's see here. You're not a big fan of it, mostly because of its texture. It's kind of throwing you off.
I mean,
Mr. Rote.
the flavor's okay. It's just
Let me
not
see
my favorite,
here.
but I mean, it's not bad.
It's a bit milder than the original
It's
version.
nice. I like it.
It's a bit neutral to you. It's not that you don't like it, but it's also not something that you would usually go out of your way for. It has hints that you like, but also hints that are kind of on your no-like list. But for the most part, it's kind of a neutral dish for you. And then, Mr.
Victor.
Victor. Let me see here.
Already there.
Yeah, you, you don't even let this stuff touch your lips.
Nope.
As you get a whiff of it and you just...
Nope.
I'm good.
That's pretty good.
I'm actually
I'll
looking
take your
forward
word on it.
Just one more from me and Evangeline.
Yay!
Yeah.
Besties!
I was gonna say, 'cause you each have your own bowl like this, so like you can start taking
Yeah.
other people's bowls if they let you take them.
to it. Yeah, got it.
Go right ahead.
Roll. As I'm slowly inching
Molly's she's also neutral with it, but she's kind of hungry, so she's just
I can
eating.
understand why people like that, but it is not for me.
Both of us just have like
hit
two or
the
three of
savory
them.
side of what you told me
Just
for
about
Rolt's
two
flavor
pieces.
likes, but it also hit the more like texture hates for Rolt. So it was one of those that it's like, it's just enough
Yeah,
to be neutral.
Ashley, is that the takoyaki that we had the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was cooked all the way through. It was a little mushy in the middle.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be spongy, not mushy.
Yeah,
It was way too mushy and
yeah, the outside was
Runny.
good, and as soon as you got into it, it just
Yeah.
kind of like ran all over the mouth.
Ooh.
So
it was
Yeah.
a texture thing for me. Like it
That's-
tasted okay, but it was a texture thing. I was like,
Yeah,
eh.
it was undercooked. I mean,
But-
it tasted good, but
Yeah. So the two who really liked it, the one who absolutely hated it, and then kind of like the neutral yes and no's.
yeah.
Well, maybe I should have these for to go. Well, no, I should.
I mean, it's kind of ice cream. I don't know how well
Oh.
it'll stay.
As you're eating it, the snake does get a bit curious and laps at it a bit. It's kind of enjoying it. It's a meaty kind of savory. When you put your spoon back down towards the dish because of how it's resting on your arm, it kind of laps at the bowl as you bring it up.
This is the snake. Don't ask, Linus.
Everyone else kind of hears the snake just making its kind of neutral noises. You just hear it going.
Do I still have the cat on my shoulder?
Yeah, it's just kind of chilling there.
You've been adopted, as I said.
Is that like a big cat?
No, it's just
It's
like,
like
it's a
Keys.
small little house.
It's like it's a small house cat.
It's Keys,
I was
basically.
hoping it was gonna be like
Keys
a
and-
house cat, like the fucking monstrous house cat.
It's not like one of the bigger breeds. It's one of the smaller breeds of cats sizes.
You've been adopted.
Congratulations.
fun.
Congratulations, you were being defeated.
So,
You were being adopted.
as
Please
you
do not
kind of work through
resist.
the bowls, the waitress does come back out carrying a large table tray.
Mhm.
All right, sweeties, it looks like your food's ready.
This is massive.
And then puts down the tray holder and starts. She moves over what looks to be like a small cauldron that houses the stew, and then takes the lid off. And whenever it does, again, since it's not as much spices as they could normally get from Batet, it is a bit more mellow on the smell. But whenever it comes out, it's a mix of smells from both well sautéed and roasted meats with kind of a rosemary after smell kick in it, with what could be considered hints of garlic and thyme just kind of rolling off and down from the cauldron.
Okay, I just ate, but I'm hungry again. Thank you for that, David.
No
Yeah,
worries.
Anyone else in the chat suddenly hungry and looking at Grubhub?
No worries, I'm fat. I know how to describe food.
Yeah, that makes
So-
sense.
Then following after that looks to be mostly cubed meats intermingled with mushrooms and diced leeks on about 1 foot long skewers with a decent amount of meat into veggie ratio. About 10 of those set down on what's essentially could be considered a sizzling tray to keep them warm.
Oh, nice.
And then following after that looks to be a bowl that's very thick, heavy wood on the bottom, but has a metal grate over the top with warm coals, still with sizzling different vegetables and tubers roasting on top, seasoned with more kind of a garlic / salt mixture, and set down at the table. And with that, she hands out forks, knives, spoons, as well as the appropriate dishware. Again, completely made of, to a Patetan, subpar to average glass, but everyone else, it kind of looks like upper class glassware for your plating and bowls.
Oh, shit.
All right, is there anything else I can get for y'all today? Would anyone like a refill on their drinks? All right. I'll bring out a pitcher for y'all to refill that, and you would like more water. What about for you, fancy pants?
Yes, I have more water, please.
All right, and for you, ma'am, would you like more ale?
Yes, please.
All righty, I'll be right back out with some pictures.
Well, everyone.
I'm thinking like one of the giant, like, foot-long fucking kebabs. Just like, man, this tastes better than the stuff you get back in Slugfest.
It's certainly a season, and then I'm just gonna lean a little bit back and say,
And there is a bit of a, like, that slight disappointment because it's not as spicy as the food normally would be, but you can still taste the
Like the-
savory memories.
like
essentially.
that.
Anyone, so you're grabbing a kebab, what are you grabbing first?
I'm gonna grab a kebab and a couple of the veggies too.
Okay. And Molly kind of follows suit, just kind of copying you.
It's a
Victoria.
family meal, guys.
For what it looks like, the food is actually well cooked.
I'm going like this. It's like a barbell. Shut up.
I was gonna say,
Sure.
you're welcome to still withdraw from it, but it's not something that naturally would smell bad. It actually smells pretty good to Victoria.
No.
Okay. And Evangeline, what are you grabbing for first?
I'm going for the soup.
For the soup? Okay, for the stew. So you're grabbing the ladle and pouring
Yep.
it out to your bowl. All right. So, and I don't even have to tell Strella because Strella's already enjoying every inch of this. As you bite into the meat, it's almost like biting into week-long dry-aged meat that has been sautéed and stewed to bring it back to life. Mixed. Trust me, I'm making myself salivate over here. Mixed with essentially what could be described as a mild yet slightly spicy afterkick dry rub. And then the vegetables themselves have been sautéed and seared before being put onto the skewer with the rest of the meat. Now for the vegetables. They don't seem too out of the ordinary whenever you're putting them on your plate. But whenever you bite them, there's almost like the potatoes have almost like that natural crisp to them before you cook them. But they mush as soon as you start chewing. So it was like they were brought out just at the end of their cooking phase. So they have that nice grill crust over them, but the inside is perfectly cooked through, being accented by the garlic and salt. Essentially, you got like a huge potato wedge in a sense. The leek that's been put on there almost has the same consistency of what people would consider the consistency of a medium rare steak. and the juices that are naturally found in the leeks themselves lend to the spices that were rubbed over them, holding them tight. So each bite is almost like a flavor packet bursting in your mouth.
Hey Ashley, what are we getting after this?
Evangeline, as you take a bite of the stew, you get a very similar taste of the meat that Lioness was biting into, how I described it there. But since it's been marinating in the stew, it's gotten the extra flavor seeped in. As it's not just an ordinary stew, and Patet, to keep things kind of going as they can, because they can't really afford to heavy clean big pots. It's one of those infinite style stews, so you kind of taste the flavor of the original pot it was poured from.
So the pot is basically seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seasoned for years upon years. And so that lends it to its own broth as well as the vegetables that are intermingled with it. Each bite kind of falls apart, but not like it's crumbling, more of a melting. And it feels like some good soul food down home cooking.
I'd have thought you'd have been hungry, Victor.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm absolutely not hungry.
At least try the vegetables.
Stew's good.
You're gonna hear from the back kitchen, "What's wrong, pretty boy? My cooking not any good for you?"
I'm just not hungry.
As this conversation is happening, some of the gray orcs come from back in. "What's wrong with Mama's cooking?"
Nothing. It's absolutely delicious, gentlemen. Thank you.
"Oh, we ain't talking to you, Mr. Minotaur. But we're glad you enjoyed the meal.
Okay.
Nothing's wrong
We're
with
talking to the pretty boy."
Nothing
But I
is-
am the pretty boy. What? Oh.
One of them awkwardly goes, "You're very handsome, but we're not talking to you."
No tip.
Cries a little.
Molly's like patting your shoulder, just trying to comfort you.
Again, I'm the guy of. Am I the bad guy?
Am I not the pretty boy?
Am I not the good boy?
You're my pretty boy.
And again, the mama orc from the kitchen speaks up. "What's wrong with my cooking?"
Nothing is wrong with it. I'm just not hungry.
And you're gonna hear your waitress kind of going back behind the bar. "It's all right, Mama. It's fine. He's probably just full." And she's gonna peek her head out and go, "I don't want any of you leaving here hungry. So please enjoy the food."
I'm still going.
"Mama, it's all right. You don't have to try so hard." "No, we came out here to try and feed the hungry people. I don't want to see anyone leaving here hungry."
Patet and mad.
And the lioness is just fucking glaring.
You would recognize this as essentially Patetan hospitality.
Yeah.
It's a thing of if you cook food and there's someone at the table,
Eats.
everyone should eat.
Yes.
That
It's a harsh world out there. And you
That-
eat all you can
that
get.
mama, she went hungry once. She don't want anybody to ever go hungry again.
Are you saying that out loud?
No.
No, just thinking. Just
Alright.
thinking out loud. Yeah. Well, no, actually,
Well,
yeah.
in character.
Yeah, in character's like, you could tell she has been hungry before, and she never wants anyone to ever feel that pain again.
That's right, Mr. Minotaur. I just don't want anybody to ever know that feeling.
I take up one of the kebabs. Look over at Linus and like,
Right,
Linus.
Victorian.
Very Victorian. Eat the motherfucking kebab.
Peer
Please
pressure.
don't spit on me.
Or you won't sleep for shit tonight.
The orcs that did come in are now starting to go back towards the kitchen. You can hear them trying to comfort Mama.
Oh,
I
I don't get what the big deal is.
And then I just.
Eight.
You're gonna feel a hand on your shoulder. And those sitting across the table from Victorian and kind of next to him would see it's the similarly dressed to Strella person coming up behind Victorian. "Not all of us are related by blood. But please, do not hurt Mama's feelings.
Aw.
At least eat some
Just
of the
take a
fucking
bite.
vegetables, please.
I'm just thinking.
It's not peer pressure if we're trying to help you.
How is this helping me?
Because you don't get attacked by a bunch of orcs.
We don't attack people. We want to feed people.
Attack with affection.
No, in character. Did you hear my conversation with Molly earlier?
Come on, Victorian. She's crying. Even Molly gets up and starts going back towards him. It's like, it's okay. He's just not hungry.
I'm
Grab
going.
the stupid kebab.
So
I cut off
we'll
a
just
piece of vegetable and
we'll just act like this is how the table's set.
Yeah.
Strella and Linus, roll me a perception check.
That's not 20.
Nice.
For a total of
32.
alright,
60.
16. Okay. You don't necessarily see this, Strella, but Linus, though it's a slightly different color, the person who had their hand on Victorian's shoulder had what looked to be a similar style of dagger to Strella, slowly poking out from her hand. That disappeared when she took, or when he took some of the vegetable off the skewer.
Good choice.
Indeed, as they
I just
Still
kind of,
don't
I just
sound
kind of,
good.
I just kind of look at the
Stranger.
stranger, and it's like,
again, not everyone is related by blood, but sometimes by those who save them.
And I just look at her going, indeed.
Indeed.
What is the phrase? The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb?
Very wise, my Minotaur friend. Now, I will leave you to enjoy your meal.
I still don't get this whole concept.
And after
It's called
you
eating.
do eat,
What's put in front of you, Victoria.
after you do take a bite off the kebab, even just cutting off the vegetable, you do hear the sniffling kind of stop, and you hear the rustling of cookware as she's trying to make herself busy again. And the rest of the orcs are just trying to like clean everything else so she can kind of relax for a second.
I'd
The
say-
best way I can put it to you out of character is
Oh no, I get it.
okay.
Victorian doesn't.
I got you. I was gonna say, in general, just to put a design to it, anyone who's familiar with kind of the adoptive mom, whenever you make a friend with someone who, like, no matter what, as soon as you become good friends with their kids, you are their kid as well. That's kind of how the Grey Orcs of Patet act. They specifically have a matriarch who, whether or not you are related by blood, they will make sure you are fed.
I
If
just don't get this concept.
Victoria, have you ever been hungry before?
No.
Yeah, I figures.
I'm gonna go stand up and I'm gonna go meet with Mom
So-
as well.
There are people who unfortunately did not have a lot growing up.
the waitress even opens the door for you as you walk by.
They went and they were not able to eat their fill or even eat at all for some days. And I can sympathize with them now, as you know, this curse is not as bad as it was, but I still feel it. Just this always feeling in the pit of your stomach whenever you're very hungry, and you've missed a meal or two, and you're willing to do anything for it. And it is a very bad feeling that you do not want to wish upon anybody. So whenever you sit at the table, and they are able to provide food, and they're able to make sure that you never feel that pain, it is one of the most genuine and compassionate things that one can do. And that goes against, or goes across all walks of life, from different countries, from different cultures. Am I right, friends?
I'm not
Yeah.
here, by the way. I'm already in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're already in the kitchen.
You would have seen her getting up and going.
So it's a cultural thing, part of it. Making sure that one is fed when they're at your table. And yes, it may make less sense to someone who's been as well fed and has never been as hungry. But for those of us who have been, it is a deeply personal thing.
Line is still just going out.
Yeah.
To town.
Yep. Fuck it.
Other cultures are weird.
Says the elf.
Of course, the elf would say it. I'm superior.
I'm sorry.
We need to work on your superiority complex, but I am superior.
What complex?
Wait, did you actually say that the superior thing?
No.
Okay.
No. So I'm just gonna go to town and just be like, the food was
Why do
delicious.
elves
Well,
always-
thank you, youngin.
I'd
As
take
a
it.
fel-
Go ahead.
Yes, the fellow Patetan, I'm happy to have some food far away from home. It's been a while.
Are y'all staying with us for the night?
We are.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And that means that you've already paid for your meal with your room stay.
Thank you so much, Mama.
Here you go. And as she's looking at you, she actually grabs from essentially what could be considered like a freezer, not a freezer, but a fridge. One of the
It's a
wraps
nice
out from
box.
underneath there,
Yeah.
and hands it to you in case you need a midnight snack.
Thank you so much, Mama. I will.
Did you call her mama?
Yes, of course. That's what
Nice.
they call it.
Good, good.
Mama.
Which Starla would know in the culture. You pretty much anyone who acts like a caring mother figure, calling a mama isn't anything like an insult or awkward. It's
Yeah.
kind of a honor title essentially.
Gotcha.
You're basically being called major
Mom.
caregiver.
Mama Thibodeau, Mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
So
Mama
it's a show of respect for an older female in Batet, and you would say Papa to any older male figure in Batet.
Oh, do not worry,
We're gonna
Victoria.
come back out.
You shall
Thank
go
you,
and
Mama.
we shall make sure you learn
I
much
appreciate
of different
that.
cultures,
You take care of yourself,
whether
sweetie.
you want to or not.
I take it.
And I will roll intimidation if I have to on that.
I'm gonna go ahead and sit back down.
Okay, so just like with PvP, I allow it to be aesthetic or effective, and I will allow the two involved to decide.
Why is it always me?
Because yeah, because your character's a little shit. That's why.
Victorian
I
has
guess
to
that's
learn.
true.
We love you, Mel, but Victoria's acting like a little bit of an asshole. We're gonna make sure that he learns.
I mean,
Go learn
the
today,
reason
boy.
why it's always
It's like-
you is because you're an asshole.
I am an asshole.
It's like
Alright,
fucking
so-
yank coming
I
down
have
and
warned
insults
you,
somebody's teeth.
motherfuckers.
Fair.
When I made him, he's an asshole.
We do this, and we're
Aes-
gonna correct it.
Aesthetic or effective?
Effective.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so roll for that.
So you'll roll intimidation,
Okay.
and you will roll a wisdom save.
Hey,
Holy shit! I see it from here.
Holy shit.
For a total of
for a total of 32.
for and your total, Victoria? Yeah. Victorian's feeling 2 inches tall right now.
I kind of even scoot back from the table just a little bit.
I was about to say, everyone else, you would feel this. It's kind of a
Now finish that. kabong.
someone messed with the quiet kid in class kind of feeling. You would even see some of the orcs starting to move out towards the dining room to just make sure nothing's going on.
Well, because all they see is beer mug in front of Minotaur, and like just eyes over it.
There's a difference though whenever it comes to a paladin's intimidation, especially landing on a natural 20. There tends to be some form of divine lighting. So
That's the
as
first intimidation thing I've done this whole campaign. I think.
and it's against an ally.
Good, it worked.
It's
It
fun,
did.
isn't it?
As you're essentially radiating this, like, I know you're a paladin of glory, but for this instant, it almost feels like
Fear.
a
Conquest or business.
conquest, almost feeling of fear being put off from you, which causes a few of the gray orcs to come running out of the kitchen, like ready for a fight almost, but just kind of keeping an eye on
I'm
everything.
just gonna
And the one who was the receptionist that you originally talked to, he kind of steps up. So is everything all right?
It is now.
Right. Well, if you
Just
got any fights, then you just make sure to take them outside, please.
Oh no, there will not to be any fights needed.
Did a full 180.
So is Victorian kind of more eating some more food now, or
He's just kind of picking at it. He's not really messing with the meat.
okay? Which there are also grilled veggies that haven't touched
Yeah.
meat. If Victorian's not wanting to eat meat,
Yeah, no, he's not.
Conquering presence.
Conquering presence.
You almost slip into a different vow for like half a second.
Harry, did I hear something?
Who the fuck?
The power of mama compels you.
New oath detected. Oath of mama.
You get advantage on any charging attacks, especially if they
With a
make fun of
slipper?
mama. No, that's a ranged attack with a slipper.
I mean, it's range. It's a simple weapon. Range and
There you go.
range is infinite.
I
by
just,
the
re-
way.
I just realized.
Allowing smite too.
I just realized aura protection would technically would have been going off on this because I've got that now, but I don't think it would have helped too much against the 32.
You can actually decide because it specifically says allies. So in that moment, you can decide for that split second that Victorin was
Victorin-
not to be protected.
Is
Fair
Victorin an ally or not in this second?
Nope.
Whenever you are a friendly creature within 10 feet of you, you must make a saving throw.
So at this point, it wasn't friendly. It was kind of.
No, it was not.
Hey, Starla.
What's up?
Like, looking at the back of the menu, like, are there any like sweets or pastries that you guys haven't that's on here?
I'm just gonna point at the.
What sweets do we? What would we?
So, what some sweets do you think they would be?
So it'd be. I think the most mildest we'd ever have is like kind of coffee kind of bitterness, something like that.
Oh, that's cool because Linus loves coffee.
Yeah, kind of like the coffee bitterness. You know, it's almost just like coffee ice cream, but like the texture's kind of like nutty and all that stuff.
Yeah, it sounds good. And I think like try and like flag down the server.
Oh, she's already out there. She came out with the rest of the orcs to try and make sure there wasn't a fight going on.
My friend would like to try some Tibetan desserts.
Oh, okay. Were we wanting some of the coffee cream, or were we wanting to do something more like one of our pastries?
Could I get one each?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a spicier pastry.
Okay.
We were able to get some spices imported that we've just been saving for the desserts.
Okay.
We do have one that's more of a bean filling pastry almost inside of it. Akin to kind of one of those, what do they call them, donuts over in Mechanus. And then we also have one that's a bit more savory. It's made with bacon fat. And it's a bit of a spongy pastry with a sweet cream filling.
Twinkies.
We call them Tonkies here.
Monkeys.
It's a tonky honk.
Could I actually get one of each of those? What's the coffee cream?
Most certainly.
Oh, and
Do you want to get one of each for the table, or? Alrighty.
Victoria, pastries. Evangeline, pastries.
Sure.
Ro,
Yeah.
Molly.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, well, I'll get that put in for you. Just take a minute. Would we like any more refills while I'm here?
No, but tell Mama, thank you so much.
Yes,
My
thank
friends
you.
have been very hungry as of recently, so.
There's been quite a few hungry folk moving through here.
Yeah.
We're so glad for her hospitality.
Well, I'll let Mama know.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be right back. And with that, she makes her way back to the kitchen with the rest of the orcs kind of moving back behind her and again going back into the kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah.
so where did the the same one that dresses me went go?
She's in the kitchen.
She's in the kitchen. Okay.
You occasionally see her passing by the server window,
Mhm.
kind of carrying some dishes and moving stuff
Alright.
around.
So,
What's up?
I know you said there's a lot of people that dress like that in the tent, but that one particular one seemed to notice you more than just a passing nationality of familiarity.
I don't follow.
Like they looked like they knew you.
Well, as you can tell, I'm very hard to figure.
And I took it out lean in. Strella's ears like they had like one of those psychic knives that you use.
Then I should show off a little bit of it. Just like, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Another one of my kind, I suppose.
Yes, just.
I'll be happy that she's very much the type to follow our culture, unlike some other people. And she seems nice enough, especially since she's here to protect Mama.
Yeah. Just looking at Lauren, like,
What now?
Fair enough response.
I'll tell you later.
Just keep eating.
Nah.
So with that, the rest of the pastries and the desserts brought out, which really doesn't hit a negative note with really many. All of them kind of hitting different positive notes across everyone's different taste buds. The only excitement comes from the night when it comes to light that Molly has a coffee bean allergy,
Oh no.
and a quick lay on hands kind of fixes the situation.
Good thing she's rooming with the cleric.
But past that, not much more excitement comes of the evening.
Except when,
It's
like,
like the
because,
worst-
like, when she brought everything out, as soon as she set it down and I recognized it, I'm just like, fuck yeah, donuts!
Except for Linus's excitement for seeing
Oh, of course.
something that looks close enough to
Donut.
classic Mechanus donut.
Just
But past that bit of extra joy and the panic that came from finding out that Molly is allergic to coffee, everything else pretty much goes without a hitch. No more pushing Victorin to eat Mama's cooking, as it wasn't ever really brought out as a together dish. It was kind of an individual stuff for the dessert. So with that, everything starts to close down, and as y'all finish, some of the Grey Orcs come out and start cleaning off the table and taking your dishes. And it is well within the night at this point.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask where they usually would have, like, people who are gonna sleep outside.
In a tent. They basically point you over to the big dirt patch. This is basically serves as a parking lot, but it's not like lined
campsite,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want me to cast Tiny Hut or no?
I would say no, since we have to keep an eye on the machine.
Very well, I'm heading to my room then.
There we
That's such.
Evangeline?
Girls' night.
Girls' night! As y'all head off to bed to essentially just have fun.
Have fun.
Here,
We don't have Parcheesi.
roll me a 20 and add your charisma. Roll d20 and add your charisma. And we'll add the total. What's it on dice?
8 on dice. And Parcheesi.
Just scene transition. Meanwhile, with the dragon.
Why?
9.
9? Okay, no worries. She ended up getting a total of an 18, so
Nice.
I was
So
gonna say
27.
27, and then divide that by 2, 13. So it ends up being a pretty decent night. You kind of being from a clerical order, you had celebration nights and everything, but not necessarily like
Parties.
party night. And so Molly kind of adding a bit more from what she's done through the travels with Roll and everything, just kind of making the
Yeah.
fun. Overall, it's above average for fun.
That's pretty
Linus and Victoria, are both of you back to your room?
Yes.
It's a pretty average room, 2 twin beds, a counter that has a water pump sink. So if you need to get water, you can just pump it out from the spring and it brings it to them. With that, it doesn't have any bathroom in it, but there's an outhouse for that, and then an external shower from the spring. But overall, it has enough creature comforts to satiate the average traveler. And Rolt, you're staying with the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and you're staying near it as well in the tent or in the
Yeah.
campground.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be right, like a little bit farther from the.
Y'all kind of, would you say, move the vehicle towards the closest edge to the camping area and just kind of
Yeah.
have your tent over there?
Yeah, maybe 10. The road's gonna be right next to it, but I'll be a little bit farther. Maybe
So
like
you can sleep
50.
inside it if you want.
I was gonna say I'm gonna make it to where like if somebody wants to get into the vehicle, they're gonna only have to climb over big Minotaur to get to it.
Okay, no, that's perfectly fine. All right, so everyone kind of gets to their comfortable areas. Some having more enjoyment out of their rooming buddies' presence than others, and sleep kind of comes quick to most. Kind of helping keep a watchful eye. The displacer cat just kind of curls up in the bed next to you, Victorian.
You have been adopted. Do not
Oh.
resist.
And each of you kind of fall asleep. Strella, it takes you maybe a little bit longer because it is a little bit noisier than a Patetan night, as you're still pretty close to the forest, so you can still get some of the noises out of there. Every once in a while, you find it hard to go to sleep because right as you're on that precipice, same with you, Rope, you hear one of the mushrooms start like giggling. From
I'm ready to just like the hilt starts forming, but the blade doesn't.
But eventually it does come to a point where you kind of get used to the pattern of their natural noises and you are able to fall asleep.
Okay, I suppose I do another intimidation check against some mushrooms.
Oh, 1 HP.
Yeah, then you will go to sleep.
Turns
Yeah.
turns into cardboard powder.
Oh.
You
I mean, they want themselves.
y'all want to hear my situation on this car? Why don't y'all just take the mana crystals to one of the rooms? Because you need the mana crystal for it to run. So
They
there's
can
no
use
mana
spell
crystals
slots.
in the
They
car.
can
You
use
can use
spell
spell
slots.
slots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that. I forget they're weird.
Yeah,
Scam.
mana crystals are just a way for non-magic users to be able to drive a monomobile.
Like
Just
Ian
Or someone to
Myers.
save their spell slots.
Yeah.
Just
So-
look at the engine. Take the important part that looks
You
cool.
just hotwire the engine.
You just take the, you just look at the engine, look at what's
Oh,
important,
flame
take it
spell,
off.
hot wire.
Yeah. Heat metal.
Yep.
Anyways, so
Oh, yeah.
you each eventually find sleep. We'll get to you in just a second, Evangeline.
Alright.
As the night kind of goes, you are gently, but you are kind of shooken awake.
Oh yeah, I don't have any of my garbs on.
Yeah, you would have your normal form, but it's again just a gentle waking up and kind of sitting in your tent at the end of it, still kind of dressed in garb, is the one who kind of stood out from all the Grey Orcs.
Like
The one that was
yeah,
wrapped.
like
in
I
the
would the lavender looking blade. The hilt would already start forming before the blade comes out. Like it's not the blade isn't coming out.
Yeah, you're just like you're showing that you're ready in case something is gonna happen.
Yeah.
No need for that. Here, put on your wraps, and
Yeah.
you would recognize the voice as kind of more feminine, but you don't know their race yet.
Yeah.
And she hands you the wraps for you to put on. I'll be waiting for you behind the building.
Okay. So I go start putting everything up. Takes about 5 minutes or so.
I'd say at this point 5 minutes if you're in a rush, but it would still cover just about everything.
Yeah. Then I head to the back of the building.
And she's standing there and she starts to unwind her own bandages. And as she does, it's a almost pale green hair that comes dripping down, but it's kind of cut at a pixie cut. But you can see that she has almost a similar scale pattern to you as well. So, there were others who escaped as well.
You're one of the people that joined the thing.
At least they tried.
I tried to save as many as we could.
There were many of us who attempted to save those that we could. But I'm glad to see that at least more survived, that I had a fortune to see in the right state of mind.
I didn't realize there were more. Are there more here?
No. I continued to travel as far north as I could get myself. And that's when I ran into, well, for lack of a better description, the cousins. And then they eventually introduced me to Mama, who was traveling north, and the rest is a safe and secured life story.
I'm glad that the Tevins, especially Mama, have been treating you well. But is there any word of our captors? Any signs?
I do not want to talk too much in case any of the cousins, or at worst, as I would not want you to worry, Mama may be able to hear. We'll end this conversation, but when you can, make your way to Ivasa Daedrin. You'll find friends. Very familiar ones.
No.
And with that, she turns to go towards the back door of the building.
And I'm gonna head back towards my tent.
And you at least see it as you're turning, but she starts wrapping back up.
I'm like, I have like a holy symbol in my pocket. I'm just thumbing it, just thinking.
And if you want to make a note of that, you can. As part of it, she was going to hand you a note as well.
Okay.
So if you want to write it down or make a note on your phone,
Okay.
it's essentially just says Ivasa Daedrin friends.
How do you spell it again?
EVASA. And then Daedrin is DIADREN.
You said friends.
Those are the only words written on
Okay. And I head back just.
there. And in the process of, as all this is happening, Evangeline,
Yes.
as you are used to seeing things that aren't your own experiences through essentially dreams, again you see another glimpse that doesn't seem to be from what you're used to with your normal second spirit. This one still has the same sensation of being hungry. Roll me a perception check.
That's an 8 plus 5.
So
Just
13.
straight up perception?
Yeah,
Or is it
just
with
perception.
anything else? Alright. I think it's just 13.
13? That's perfectly fine. You can get kind of the orientation of your vision here, and you can tell that you're flying. And you're soaring through the skies.
Can I look and see if I've taken a different form, maybe? Or is that would
No.
that go with the perception?
That would go essentially with the perception.
Okay.
But you would know that in your dreams you can't try to move it like it's a camera. You're stuck to the perspective of what the dream is from.
Okay, so I am stuck focused on whatever I've taken over, basically.
Whatever their vision was seeing at the time, yeah. So essentially you're getting a POV of whatever you've taken the
cutscene.
vision of. Yeah.
Cutscene!
And as you're flying, you can at least see through this that you're well above the clouds. And you immediately, not so much as a nosedive, but you do take a quick and rapid rush down. Give me another perception check.
17.
17 total. With that, you get this sensation of almost like a forge of boiling heat and metal forming in your mouth.
I'm glad I'm the brass dragon.
As you see what could possibly be a town beneath you, as you let out a breath, and as the flames meet the ground, everyone is woken up, as it is daytime.
Don't you hate those dreams?
Yep. Well then.
Is that a good place to call it for the night?
It's still 10:30.
Not yet.
Okay.
Everyone is still just waking up, you would have been abruptly woken up. eventually.
Yeah, like waking up in a cold sweat from a nightmare, basically.
So you are the first awake.
Okay.
Molly still seems to be rousing but still asleep. Anything you'd like to do as the first one awake?
I just tuck the blankets a little bit more up over her,
Okay.
and then I just is there any stationery in the room that I can like make notes on?
No, but you would have some in your backpack.
Okay. I'm making notes on like everything I've seen so far and connecting dots.
Okay.
Can I roll perception to see if the town looked familiar? Like, is it a
You
coastal
will
town, or is it somewhere in this area, or is it just
So
random
you'll
town?
need to roll memory, which is essentially you have to roll under your intelligence. Your modifier will work the opposite of how it normally does. So if it's a positive, it'll subtract. If it's a negative, it'll add.
Okay.
However, you will have a +5 to the roll with it being a dream.
So
So what's your intelligence?
15.
So you normally have a +2.
Mhm.
So normally that would subtract 2 from your roll.
So
to help
basically,
you.
I'm adding a +3 to it.
Yes.
Okay. That is a 11.
11 total.
Nice.
Okay. So, with that, it's a little hazy, but you could tell that it was what looks to be in the middle of the plains. So, fairly flat land.
Okay, so nothing much more that I can add to that. It's just I don't know a location. I don't know if it's this.
Essentially, you were able to, with your perception check at your dream, was able to at least tell that it was a city with differing buildings, but it wasn't high enough to see what those buildings look like.
Okay.
So essentially, you got a really basic layout of a town map, but it's hard to tell what was what.
Okay, because I was setting everything on fire. Basically.
Everything was moving quickly
And on fire.
and on fire.
Okay.
So now, if
I'm just
everyone could
making
roll me
notes of
essentially
that.
your initiative, and that'll be when you wake up.
Do we add anything to it or?
Initiative.
Okay.
Well, Molly's waking up last. NPCs don't get a die roll.
13.
13.
Dirty 20.
23.
17.
Starting with Strella.
I just wake up. I'm gonna keep the note in my own separate separate satchel that's close to me.
Okay.
Start doing my reps again, and then start folding my 10. Just all that stuff.
Okay. Linus.
Morning stretches.
And you would notice Victorian's still asleep.
There's that face.
I go over. I scratch the cat and I walk in.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna draw like a mustache on Victor with a monocle.
If he was
Nope. Nope.
an artificer, haha, spell rock tattoo, cast
Okay.
fireball
And what
on
was
self.
your initiative again? Sorry.
13.
13. And what was yours, Victorian?
17.
Okay. Victorian?
Get up after probably hearing Linus walk out. And start getting around.
Learn with the cat.
Which the cat just kind of seems to follow you.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay. Yeah. Just get up, grab my stuff, get ready for the day.
Rolt. As you're stirring, you can already see Strella just about done with putting up her tent.
I'm gonna first look around and make sure the monomobile and everything else is safe and secured around me,
Yeah, everything looks normal.
and then I'm gonna go use the latrines and then go back and start packing up.
Okay. And then finally, at this point, as you've already kind of finished your packing, Molly has now kind of woken up. After everyone's kind of
Here's the
already
extra
finished their
blankets.
things. Yeah.
Here's the extra blankets.
She kind of moves them off and gets up and does a bit of stretching, and it says good morning to you as she heads out towards the latrines and the showers. Good morning. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Okay.
Okay. And she's still kind of in that half awake, half asleep phase. And she heads towards the showers, kind of running into Rolt as he leaves the latrines. And I'm assuming you would be going to the shower with your cleaning regimen that y'all do. And then Molly hits the latrines and takes a shower at her own pace. And at this point, everyone's kind of finished with their main morning routines and has started to head back towards the monorail.
I'm gonna like make a quick detour and say thanks to everyone in the Grey Orcs.
Mm-hmm. And they all basically give you a good old kind of back home, good seeing you. Hope to see you again. If you run into family, tell them we say hi. We hope to see you. If you see our family, don't be afraid to come and talk with us. Kind of a good, down home goodbye.
And they give I didn't get her name obviously, so but
Yeah, which she didn't even ask you
yeah.
for yours.
If I see her, I just give her a quick nod before we
And she nods and waves back.
I think and I go because I want a 6-pack of donuts and coffee.
Yeah. As you go to order food, they do let you know that Mama's still asleep.
Oh.
But one of the Grey Orc cousins goes back into the kitchen. You can start hearing the frying going and everything.
And take in, even though I know that it's.
And the daughter, she brings you out a cup of hot coffee.
Yeah.
And it's in a really nice, again, it's a tempered glass kind of with a insulating koozie around it. And she says you can take that with you on the road.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, I appreciate that.
No worries, sweetie. And with that, she actually gives you a bit of a wink as she walks back to the kitchen. Give me a perception check.
jab Linus against the head because he's short.
Go ahead and just roll
Yeah.
and
There's perception. Yeah, 6 plus 6. It's 15.
15?
Yeah.
You can tell there's a little bit of extra sway in her hips as she's walking away from you.
I'm there with you, and I just go.
My morning's great.
Lioness ain't the only thing that got up this morning.
But I take in before I leave. I take and take a gold piece and I kind of put it on the counter or whatever like that. It was for the hospitalities and Mama's like, well.
And one of the orcs who's back there kind of cleaning everything up, he goes, well, thank you, but no. And he hands it back to you. That's not what our hospitality is about.
I know, but it wasn't. I know it's not, but at the same time, like, you're taking and you're giving people a sense of home away from home. And, I want you guys to be able to take and keep doing what you're doing.
We appreciate it. Here, give me just a second. And he takes the gold coin and goes back into the kitchen. And you hear some hooping and hollering coming from the kitchen. Kind of like you can kind of understand it with it being a bit more Batetan slang than standard common. Which you're not used to Batet as you're part of Mechanus, the furthest away from it.
Yeah.
But Strella, you catch it a bit because they're saying it kind of quick and they kind of mix a bit of Orcish with it. But you get the gist of them saying that they understand that they're being appreciated, but they can't just take the money without also giving something back. And so there's a few hollering and hooping that goes back and forth, and then coming from back from the kitchen, they're carrying essentially a wooden box, but the Grey Orc that you gave the gold coin to says, "Here." And you can smell a lot of sweets coming from it. And decent size for a medium creature. It's about this big.
So for me, it's like
Yeah.
Mary and Pippin finding the turkey.
Do you need help with that?
maybe. I think it's
Maybe.
it's sit on the
Again-
table.
again-
As you open it, not only did you already get the donuts that you originally ordered, but you have what looks to be about 6 of each sweet on it,
Oh.
as well as an ingredient sheet to make the donuts.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
I
And a
give,
bag of coffee beans.
And then coffee beans.
I give Linus like a quick pat on the back. And I look to the orcs. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Donation. Now y'all get out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all take care now, you hear?
I'm taking on like walking back with
Literally a kid.
like a briefcase of donuts.
Literally, a kid just got out from a candy shop.
Oh, yeah.
Which you have your smaller box that you originally ordered sitting on top of it. So essentially you just have breakfast for everybody if you give them one.
Yeah, I do that.
Just I'm walking by.
I said I was gonna share.
Who said I was gonna share?
There's a smaller man with a larger box. What is going on?
Breakfast.
So yeah, to show you real quick, Strella, Avlasa's right there in Diadrim. It's part of the Pseudo Peninsula.
Okay.
That.
It's like a bit,
Victoria's just sitting there.
and I'm just gonna be like a bit of a goodbye gift from everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, this is what's. Wait, where's Victoria? Is
He's
Victoria
at
here
the
yet?
car.
He's at the car?
Everyone's at the car.
And then
See, this is what happens when you're a spectacle.
while you're opening it for everyone to take, and you're looking at do you look at the ingredient sheet or anything
Yeah.
like that?
Flour.
As you're taking a slower, you're spending some time looking at this, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I'll give you basically taking 20 for this. As you're kind of looking through it, like, okay, these are things I can get. And at the bottom, almost in like a fine print kind of writing, you see a phone number for a monophone, along with what looks to be this the slightest smudge of lipstick.
I'm gonna look over.
Today is a good day.
You would recognize it as being a staple lipstick for protecting women.
And I just look at him.
And then I roll it up, put it on the inside. Today is a good day.
Did I miss something?
It was a good day for Linus. A good start of the morning. I
Good
suppose.
start in the morning.
Fair enough.
Which, and
Pastry.
the coffee beans have been pre-roasted for you, so you just have to grind them and steep them.
Just I just like let the.
You could actually even eat them if you wanted to.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
they're already roasted, they can be eaten pretty easy.
Good day.
Good day. All right.
Let's get
Everybody
this-
ready?
Let's get the
Yes,
show on the
Ready?
road.
Okay. Did everybody take and pee? Because I'm not stopping on the side of a fucking mountain.
Why not?
Molly.
Yeah, I just got back from the bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Woo! And back with the dragon.
How many times are you gonna be sending me back home? It's okay.
John's
It's okay. John's. I'm sorry. You know, maybe we should make another version of this. We could call it our own. Like sorry or something. So when you send someone back to their base, you can just look at them and go, sorry.
The dragon. Another round.
Another round. Oh, no need to get angry with the young one here. I'm not angry. I'm frustrated.
There's a difference.
There is quite a difference. Angry, you would be dead. Frustrated, I'm upset with myself.
He's the one that's winning. He's just silent in the
I
corner.
wanted it both of you combined, and I really
Teek's just kind of sitting over there going,
I win again.
I just want to go. I want to be able to leave, but this thing's going to kill me. He's having an existential crisis.
Oh,
It's your turn, by the way.
Rolls dice, lands on the dragon's figure. I'll go see myself to the corner again. Do so. And we come back to y'all driving up the mountain.
Are we there yet?
So.
Shut up.
Are we
Is
there
Linus
yet?
still driving, or is someone else driving this time?
I'm driving.
He's driving.
Alright, Linus is driving. Which, since it is a magical vehicle that has to basically expand itself to properly fit everyone riding, the pedals and the wheels, as well as the dash, is kind of shrunk to and grown to a spot where you can easily hit everything and still see.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
No.
Shut up.
Are we there yet?
No, Molly.
Oh no.
She high five Strella back.
No, Molly, we're not there yet.
If somebody asks that within the next
Victoria,
5
shut up and eat a donut.
And this time, Molly looks over towards Strella. Are we there yet? And then at this
The
point,
mushrooms-
a
the
couple of the
mushrooms-
mushrooms start giggling, and then as Strella and Molly start saying it, some of the mushrooms start picking it up.
No.
Don't make me come back there!
Okay,
And Molly's just.
okay, here's the thing. I was starting to get annoyed, but then Victorian got more annoyed, so that just made my fucking day.
At first it was funny, then it got annoying, and then it got funny
At this point, the cat just kind of sits up and is looking around, and then as the mushrooms and Strella and Molly are saying, "Are we there yet?" Anytime that y'all speak up, the cat just starts going.
I start toying with the door handle.
I locked the doors.
I wonder how fast we're going for me to die.
Are we going fast enough for us to die if we just
I feel
yeet
like if we're
ourselves
doing
out?
like that, it's like
I swear to God, I will derail this campaign.
So, as this is getting higher up, the incline does go up a bit, and the roads are getting a little more narrow. Give me a drive check, and a drive check is going to be if you are proficient with vehicles, your dexterity plus your proficiency.
Dexterity plus proficiency, so... That's not his old fuck.
Yeah.
Just remember, you have the entire party in here,
Oh, yeah, no.
and Molly.
Oh, and Molly. No, so that'd be 24.
24? Oh yeah, you're easily hugging around the curves, making sure that you're not swerving or even getting anywhere near the railing, and it's a pretty smooth drive for everybody else. Victorian, you would even be kind of impressed because you've had chauffeurs in the past, and
it's pretty smooth.
yeah, I was gonna say. Creek is very, essentially like how you can get limo services or like taxis and stuff. It's a pretty common thing in Creek. So it's one of those things that you're driving better than a Creek taxi.
We had cats.
I'm not gonna say that.
What? The guy with a Boston accent is a better driver. Imagine that.
It's almost like I've done this shit before in another life.
Okay.
Wow, this is weird. Wait.
So,
Oh, you talking to me?
after about a good 4 to 5 hours of driving, you have made some good headway up the mountain. Keeping in mind, you haven't even seen the plateau yet that sits above the clouds. But you do have at least a few stops that you can kind of plan for in advance. There's some signs. Basically, you have one that looks like it's designated more towards larger vehicles or transport convoys, kind of like a truck stop. You have one that's set more specifically for like a hotel. And then you have one that says Theme Wonder. Come and visit with the family.
Dragon.
Yeah.
We can sightsee when we don't have to worry about the dragon.
Or weird appetites.
But it sounds fun.
It does,
Well,
Molly,
well,
but we
You know, it'd be even more fun if we had Eddie and John with us.
But what if we brought something back for them being so scared?
You know, it'd be even better if we got it with them.
Give me a persuasion check.
My face when I move. Expertise.
Okay.
Oops. Use of persuasion?
Yes.
Oh, that's not 20.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that beats a 17 in period.
Yeah.
For a total of?
20.
Alright.
I was lying about expertise.
So, hey, you still got it. She goes, no, that makes sense. And she kind of hangs her head, a little sad.
I'm just gonna go look at Walt.
Now I'm looking at Road 2, hearing all this.
just looking at him in the mirror.
Uh-huh.
Rose's been distracted. Rose's been looking out the window the entire time. You forget. He's not used to this.
Watching the white paint and the yellow paint lines of the road just passing by.
Going
His
so
eyes.
fast.
So
I
fast.
get work. I've actually got to work. It's been a long day, so we need to wrap it up pretty quick.
No, that's fine. We'll go ahead and it's close enough to time. But before we end, which stop do you choose?
I'll take because you said hotel, the themed wonder, and then the
Truck stop.
Truck stop, which seems more like it's on its way up towards the truck stop.
They're all relatively close to each other.
We'll go to the truck stop.
To the truck stop. Okay. So, as you approach the truck stop, it looks to be fairly busy. But it looks pretty happy to be, like a pretty happy place to be.
Okay.
And as you get out, you hear a strange, almost rumbling noise coming from higher up on the mountain.
I
And
look
as
up.
you run to look up outside of the caved-in hole, that's what went tonight's session.
Oh no! Oh no! In
So-
before Dragon Corpse.
Thank you everyone again for stopping by and watching, and any of those who are watching this on the VOD on our YouTube, thank you for watching, and I would like to give another big shout out to our associative partners over there at the Adventurers Guild of Amarillo. Thank you again for being an amazing place for us to stock up on so many of the amazing minis that we are able to use in the campaign. Thank you again, and if you are in the Amarillo area, please make sure to check out their address, or if you have any questions, please give them a call at the number listed below, or check them out at their Facebook community pages listed here at the bottom of the screen as well. And again, thank you everyone, and have a good night, or good morning.
Bye.
Check out the socials.